Yo, author. You got ideas? Now you got 50K words in 2 hours. Used to take me months to write. Now I click once, draft done right. Story world, it's all in place. Test a chapter, win that race. One idea, one big spark. Doster it, I leave my mark. No more waiting, no delay. Click it once, the novel slays. Your first draft, never gonna be the same. Oh no. One click, now I'm in the game. Let's go. 50K in under 2. Roll my dream and it came true. Your first draft, never gonna be the same again. Never gonna be the same again. Never gonna be the same again. Your first draft, never gonna be the same again. Never gonna be the same again. Never gonna be the same again. Used to stress, used to stall. I'm dropping books like I dropped the ball. Story tight, the beats all hit. That first draft, yeah, it's lit. Build it up, test that scene. Click it once, living the dream. Authors rise, get that win. It's our time, let's begin. Your first draft, never gonna be the same. Watch me light up that flame. From plot to page and story magic coming through. Your first draft, never gonna be the same again. And never gonna be the same again. And never gonna be the same again. Your first draft, never gonna be the same again. And never gonna be the same again. And never gonna be the same again. And
All right, everyone. Happy Thursday evening. If you are on the East Coast, I'm author Elizabeth Ann West, CEO of Future Fiction Press and Future Fiction Academy. Still got the wild mohawk hair because we're still being a rebel today. How many people were here this morning for the 10 a.m. session? Woot woot. I know, a little bit of different song. I've had that song for a little bit. Can we just give a shout out to Suno? I love making those bops on Suno. I took a nap. I didn't sleep till 5. So I was a little groggy until about 30 minutes ago. I talked with Joseph really fast about some of the fixes that he made between the morning session and now. And then I turned on that song and I was like, okay, yeah, let's do this. So I listened to that song about 3 times in a row. So yeah, I agree. Eldon, Suno is amazing. Absolutely amazing. And thank you for digging the mohawk. It's a faux hawk. It's not a real mohawk, but I don't know. I'm feeling it. I just did it with a little clippy clip. So we're cheating, but that's okay. I still feel great. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing. We appreciate it so much here. Oh, there's somebody else here. I wonder who it could be. Iko!
How you doing?
Hello, sir. How was training camp?
Training. Oh, it went well. It went well. I was like, what are you talking about? I was just got out of community class. That's why.
My goodness gracious almighty. You have just done a lot today.
Yeah. I've been running around. I just want to jump in real quick and tell everybody, make sure that you like this video so that we can get it out to as many people. Hello, April. Nice to see you, girl.
Oh, she told everyone like and subscribe, like at the top.
Yeah, like and subscribe to these videos. Elizabeth is giving you her soul. She is bringing to you the knowledge of the ages. She is trying to change your life. So do me a favor. If you like her, like this video. And if you haven't subscribed yet, shame on you. Subscribe. Make sure you subscribe, okay? Come on now. I mean, come on. You just watching this all for free right now.
It's
Why
not like
can't
we're
you
asking you for
subscribe?
your firstborn.
I know. Subscribe now. Shit.
Subscribe.
Anyway, I just thought I'd stop by and say hello, Elizabeth, and tell you in public what I told you after your live stream today. She's so compelling, everybody. She's so much fun to watch. She's so exciting. So definitely jump in to all of the cool things we got going on over at the Future Fiction Academy. You can even look at her show notes and see a bunch of the stuff that we're doing. You could click on any of the links below her show notes and get a hold of things like the accelerator. You can absolutely get up to speed and have yourself one book a month through YourFirstDraft.ai in the accelerator. Get free access to Plot Drive in the accelerator, all that cool stuff. So I'm so excited about all the things that we've been doing over at the Future Fiction Academy, and I want y'all to be involved too. So make sure that you just participate. You will really enjoy your participation. All right, that's all I have. That's all I've got. What?
No, I was saying thank you. My camera keeps like tracking me, and I'm like trying to hide the mess. So like every once in a while it goes to, and then you can see my clutter, and I'm like, no, come back over here. But then there's clutter over there, so it's like I'm struggling. Yeah, I'm on the struggle.
You want to hear something funny? Something funny?
Yeah.
I totally got one of those too.
I know. I tried turning it off, and I don't.
You have to touch. You have an Osmo one?
No, I have a. What do I have?
Because
I have at least a 360 link controller.
Oh, I was wondering. You should be, because I can just touch my face again and it'll stop tracking my face. So I can go like this.
Where do you touch your face at? Like on this? Wait, you have a touch screen?
On the screen, yeah, on the screen on my Osmo Action. I mean, my
I
Osmo.
have a touch screen. I have a.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Mine's cooler.
No, that's still doing it.
Yeah.
Don't stop it. Stop it, camera.
I love that.
Turned it off.
What are you doing tonight, Elizabeth?
Well, we are hopping into your first draft. So we are going to go ahead and run the story dossier from the pre-work that we did this morning. So we got 2 hours logged on the pre-work, and I showed everyone how to like pitch the AI and like work with the AI. And I was just being myself. And apparently one of the cool things I did, and thank you so much for the FFA member who reached out to me and was like, I still learn things because it had been off the rails a little bit. I was like, okay, here's what has to happen. Now you can use the rest to fill it in the gaps, but you got to stick with this. And I was like, yeah, I just talked to it. Like it's
well, I have to tell you, what's interesting is that this is a great lead-in. So I kind of did a lot of what you did today, where we were going through ideation and going through. I created a whole new universe from my head, not from the AI, from my head, that I could that I could give the AI so that it could do a bunch of ideation of what an episode would look like or what an actual novel would look like from taking place in that universe. And so we got all the way up to exactly where you're about to be. So we both did the exact same thing. So now she's going to show you. And so mine was for all the people who like sci-fi, and yours was for all the people who like romance. And now we're going to go back to romance, but we're going to still be using the same principles, everybody. Remember that. It's all the same thing. It's all the same kind of stuff.
If you want me to out you, I will. I was trying to be... Okay, it was Ryan. Since he's got to be snarky and message me. It was Ryan Rivers, the amazing Ryan Rivers, who was like, thank you for that. So thank you, Ryan, for tuning in. Thank you for always texting me. And I can't wait for the next season of Traders.
Oh, you're watching the Alan Cumming thing?
Oh, he and I love traders. Yeah.
Oh,
We talk about traders.
me and my wife watched a lot of Traders this year.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the drag queen. I loved it. I loved it. He was so excited about being a freaking trader. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Actually, would you be a trader?
Me?
I don't know if I have the brain.
I don't know that you get, okay. You really don't get a choice in the matter. Like, you get what you get and you don't get upset. If I was a trader, yeah, I'd win. And if I was a faithful, I think I would still win or just get voted out early. One of the two.
Yeah, the traders did not win this time. They did not win.
No.
Man. I mean, and they could have. That was they
But,
they all
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with
backstabbed
you.
each other too quickly. They just
feel
did.
like, well, the reason is because they had Zac Efron's brother, who is not a real reality star. So he actually had a brain. But when they do just all reality stars, it's not the Mensa candidates who are on that show. Like, it's kind of obvious. Like,
Well,
if you
but
just
what
watch,
about Boston Rob? I mean, he's scary.
he overplayed his hands so bad. Okay, you're distracting me. Goodbye, sir.
Traders,
I said good day. I said good day.
Traders.
I said good day.
I said good day, sir. And look at that thing. On thing is still following you.
Oh no, that's terrible.
You're like,
I'm messy. I'm trying to put my chair. I quit.
It's ruining my illusion. All right. Anyway, everyone, I will see you probably halfway through tomorrow evening's live stream. I might join Elizabeth first thing in the morning, but I have a football training camp to go to tomorrow, and I'm going to be bringing a really good friend of mine, and I'm going to brag because I befriended this homeless dude who comes and panhandles at my Starbucks, and he is also going to training camp. He was very excited because he doesn't ever get to do these things. My friend Zach. So I'm really excited to go to training camp tomorrow and probably bake in the sun because this is when the sun's going to come out. Jeez Louise, I don't like that. All right. Talk to you soon, Elizabeth.
Bye, Hello. All right. Those 12 minutes don't count against me.
No.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Wow, that like zoomed out really quickly. Okay. It looks better now. Yeah, I have a messy room. What can I say? I'm a single woman, and I've actually always been a messy person because I always remember where the last place something was with the photographic memory that I have. So anybody else messy as a child? Tagged, gifted, and talented, all those fun labels, right? Okay, so I'm really excited for this. I talked with Joseph and Mel beforehand, so we're super excited to show Your First Draft and all of their hard work that they've been doing on the back end. Oh, Mel, thank goodness you're a messy adult too. Yep, messy Marvin here. I'm still messy. Okay, it's okay. Yeah, I love it. I have a tower of laundry. It's clean laundry in baskets right over there because if it's in a basket, it's clean. If it is not in a basket, it is not clean. That is my methodology. Yeah, organized chaos. Here at the Future Fiction Academy, we like to keep things real. And the reality is that most creatives, we're messy. We're messy people, but that's because we create. So let's go ahead and talk about today. Gonna share the screen. And let me know what you liked of that song. If you liked the Never Gonna Be the Same Again song. Coffee Needed says, I have the same laundry system. Thank you. I am happy to hear that. I stack till things fall. Yes. And I'm not a hoarder. I have trails. I can get places. Okay. So we have all of your lives, which are great. And then I went ahead and put a note here up at the top about remember joining the accelerator gets you all the classes below except for the summit today and a free token on your first draft. So it's still only $249 a month and you can save more by buying 6 or 12 months. So there is that link there. Someone pointed out to me that I kept saying accelerator, 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 but they didn't know where to go for that. So there's the link for that. We have some great classes this month that are on sale. I'm just gonna use your first draft. There's all the information about the classes. We have N8N. We have writing a series with AI, expanding a novella into a novel, a great bundle of sequence and automate. We have the Your First Draft Bootcamp, which is for non-mastermind and accelerator members. I'll repeat that again. Your First Draft Bootcamp is for non-members of the accelerator and the bootcamp. It is the first opportunity for those who are not a member of the mastermind or the accelerator, people who are just out there, to get access to your first draft. We are scaling slowly because I'm nervous. I'll be honest with you. I'm nervous about people who haven't worked with a lot of AI or sequencing or anything like that. I have no idea how it's going to go. So you first 100 people, some pressure on you. If you can't take to it very well, then we'll rethink. But I think it's going to be fine. It should be fine. Nobody's going to die. Maybe characters or villains, but no real people. And then we have a couple of spots left in that publishing summit with Bad Evan. There are, I think, 22 spots left. Last I looked or so, 23. That one is $5,000. I talked about that earlier. Please don't take that if it's a hardship. Please only go to that if you are someone who's really ready to take your publishing company to like that next level. And by the way, it's not a get rich quick scheme. It's a do the work, be a mid-lister, work your way to a six-figure author there, a six-figure publisher, not an author, publisher. Key and difference there. Okay. I'm going to take my name off my face, I think. Edit name and headline. I'm just gonna. Oh, I can't do that. Okay, I can't do it that way. I have to do it here, maybe? Oh, people, that's me. I know. Style. Show headlines. Oh. Show display names. I don't think I need to show my name. I think I like it better without my name. Y'all know who I am. I'm just EAW. Okay, so there is that. All right, checking the comments. Yes, mid-list publishing is hard work. Preach it, April, preach it. But it is rewarding work. When you learn how to publish correctly and you learn how to put things in the store the right way, categorizing it correctly, etc., you are rewarded. So that's it. But it is a skill. It is a skill. It is not, and it's sometimes very hard for authors to learn that skill because they have to disconnect it from how they feel about their book. If you feel about your books, they're for everybody, you need to take the Publishing Summit class with Bad Evan because you need to learn about that's not how books are sold. If you're still in that mindset of like, well, my book will make everybody happy, or my book is a mashup of these 4 genres. You get 2. You have a primary genre, and then you have a secondary genre that it can go into. I'm going to give you a good example. Y'all, we have launched the fiction part of the press. Yes, the books are here. So the links are right here. Let's take a look at Sydney Marsh. So Sydney Marsh, you can see, nope, because I'm not sharing. Share this tab instead. This is a book that is 95% artificial intelligence. Unless anyone say, you're not disclosing, oh, yes, we are, sweetheart. You click that author name, it is right there in the bio. Right there with favorite AI tools. Absolutely. So the full bio, it says she's a pen name powered by 3 veteran authors and their favorite AI tools, blending years of storytelling with a dash of innovation. Okay, so let's talk about Tumbleweeds and Tequila. This is a forced proximity one. However, so all of these are contemporary, but the secondary category for this one would be a military romance because he is an ex-SEAL. The first one's not. So basically what I'm doing is I'm making sure all of these books have the primary core where they're just contemporary insta-loves. Okay. And then there's like a secondary thing. So the first one's Mountain Man. The second one is military romance. The third one is probably going to be, I don't know, something wedding mishap or something. I'll have to look at keywords. Yes. And as Harper says, it's very satisfying when you get there though. Absolutely. With the mid list. I believe it. So thank you guys so much for No Sleep in Brooklyn. This wouldn't be possible without that day last October where we all sat and worked together. There's that Snowstorms and Schnapps, that Jake. It's not my original cover. My original cover was illustrated, but we're going with some handsome men on the covers now, and I kind of like them better. So we have our Mountain Man and we have our our military guy. Now, talk to me about these covers. Do you get Mountain Man and do you get military ex-military from the difference in those covers with the cover models? Let me know in the chat. And then we have something very different for the other one, which is the fantasy. So if you actually search Future Fiction Press LLC, you can see all 3 books that we have on pre-order right now. We plan to have 8 books go out in August alone on the press that are frontlist books. And then I'm also going to be republishing some of my EAW books. Eldon, do not tell me that. You only see the pretty guys. All right. Well, you guys can help me out here. So looking at these book covers, you can already see that there is a difference in genre. You would not expect the Immortal Bloom to be the same genre as Snowstorms and Schnapps and Tumbleweeds and Tequila. Yes, they look on market. Exactly. I thought he was a Canadian. He might be. I don't know. I didn't put that in there. It's just a novella. He could be Canadian. I love that Immortal Bloom cover. It's so great. And that's the Greek god fantasy romance that Steph wrote last year, as a matter of fact, and then finalized this year. Exactly. I beg your pardon. My throat is just so dry. It has been very warm here. And don't worry, I'm not drinking straight water. I'm drinking water and Gatorade. So I'm keeping up my electrolytes. But that's why it's red. Okay. So let's go play, shall we? So I'm going to come back over to share this tab instead. All right. Down here, we have the first Easy Peasy Book Machine book completed, the information about Snowstorms and Schnapps and what we did back October 6th. This weekend, You Can't, You Won't, and You Don't Stop is what we're working on. We're writing another Sydney Marsh book, up to 20 chapters. We're aiming for less than 8 hours. Where we're at right now, we did the little bit of pre-work, which was a pitch and a little bit of outline, and then 1.5 hours. So I'm going to go with, it is 8:24 p.m. I've done 2.5 hours of pre-work. If you're wondering what those 2.5 hours were, just watch the 8 a.m. or the 10 a.m. one. Yep. And as April goes, this makes me so excited to finish my medical romance series for the press. We love it. We are targeting so many different genres and subgenres. It's going to be great. I'm really excited. You have a notes section here. So these are the final notes on Bridesmaids and Bourbon. So it's everything we finalized, along with the character names and all that. So I'm just going to copy all of that. I have it saved on my clipboard, and we are going to go right into your first draft. Here I am. Ta-da! Your first draft. I'm in the dashboard. Your first draft is great. Once you do the boot camp, you'll be able to buy credits. If you are in the accelerator or you are in the mastermind, you can buy credits at any time. The pricing of the credits, I think they're very affordable, honestly. The one token is $75, and that will get you 20 chapters. And those 20 chapters will be, when it writes, it will end up writing 35,000 to 60,000 words. So, I mean, for one token, you can get a short novel very quickly. That's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing 20 chapters, so that's one token. The 10 tokens is $700, so $70 a token. And with 10 tokens, you can do 5 40-chapter novels, or you could do 10 of those 20-chapter short novels I was talking about. You know, the things that are in that, the novellas, the 30 to 50K. 20 tokens, I mean, that's somebody who's like planning out their entire production year for one pen name is $1,300. So you would actually be able to do 10 40-chapter novels, or you could do 20 of those 20 chapters, or here's the crazy part, guys. Half a token does 10 chapters. So that's 20, that's 40, that's 40 10-chapter little serials going out. That's almost one per week, 40 weeks in a year. So if you just took off, 12 weeks of publishing there every once in a while, you could even have those serials going out for the $1,300. So it's designed to match the quality that we have put into this, the prompting and all that. You're not going to wrangle with the prompting. But you're going to have full control. So let's go take a look at what that is. So when we come over to your first draft, you can browse the blueprints. I'm going to create what's called a genre neutral one. So I'm going to create a project, and I'm going to talk what the name of this project is. I'm going to call it Bridesmaids and Bourbon. Make sure this is big enough on my screen, or if I need to zoom in more. Let's go ahead and zoom in. Oh, Susan asks a great question. Could we do 30 chapter with 1.5? Yes, absolutely. I don't think we have that many blueprints available for that, but they're coming. So we're getting that all fixed. Absolutely. The pen name on this is Sydney Marsh. And now I get to pick a blueprint. Now, the 5 training open canvas prequel, this one is free for everybody. You can use this one at any time. It's a free little project. It is using Nano, so it's rinky-dink writing. It's just designed to get you comfortable with the infrastructure and all that. And then as you go down these, you can see that the first number is the number of chapters. We're going to make this better. This is why it's an alpha, guys. Beta will be better when it's in the middle of August. But in the 10 chapters, I have Ion, which is not safe for work, Gemini 2.5, 03. This is Ruthless Vows. That's 10. It's designed for paranormal romance, I believe. Thistledown Cottage is cozy fantasy. If I don't know what these are, I mean, I know what they are because I helped build this thing. But if I didn't know what they are, I could browse the blueprints. Let's go browse a blueprint real fast. Oh, they can't see the drop. Thank you, Mel. My bad. So when I'm here, I can go to fantasy, and I can see the Thistledown Cottage and the Emerald Code Codex. You can see that there's these options here. We're going to get rid of all these like the keywords and stuff. We're going to make this a lot simplified. This was the first crack at it, but we really like, I really like the pictures. I think the pictures are fun. So if I want to look at Thistledown Cottage, for example, it tells me a little bit about what it is. If I want to see the writing sample for that blueprint, I can view that blueprint's previews, and it's going to take me to Notion. And it'll tell you exactly how to rejoin if you were ever a member of the mastermind, if you'd like to join the accelerator, etc. And this is where we have it in Canvas. It's eventually going to be inside the actual website, but you can see all of the different ones that we have here, and I can go down till I find Thistledown Cottage. And once I click on Thistledown Cottage, I can take a look at that. There's a full here. There's a sample chapter. So if I click on chapter 14, I can see what the writing style is like. Most of you are going to know what the writing style is going to be like. Most of you have played with, oh my gosh, I did not share any of that. Okay. Let me slow down. Breathe. I got a little bit nervous. Okay. I apologize. So when you are on the Browse the Blueprints, if you click this View Blueprint Previews, I'm going to click it again, and I'm going to share this tab instead. This takes you to Notion. This is an open page on Notion right now because we don't have this built into the website yet. We're working on it. We have prioritized everything, and I didn't think y'all wanted to wait months for us to get the website fine if we could just give you the writing samples on Notion. Let me know in the chat if you disagree. So here you have writing samples of all of the different major blueprints that we have. We will eventually have more, but we are working on simplifying this. But if you come all the way down to Thistledown Cottage, I can click on that one, and it starts to show. And then I can even click here on the sample worksheet so I can see what it's going to ask me for, the sample chapters. So I can go right to a chapter 1 and see Glynis squinted at the roadside through her windshield, the corners of her mouth pulling downward. The wooden monstrosity was hand-painted in no fewer than 7 colors, adorned with what appeared to be actual moss that, she blinked twice, seemed to be glowing faintly despite the afternoon sunlight. Welcome to Whimsy Creek, she read aloud, her voice flat in the car's quiet interior, where every day is just a little bit magic. So, if that's not your writing style, then Thistledown Cottage is probably not for you. Now, does that mean that yours will immediately start just like that? It is no, because whatever you put in, and you can edit that first chapter, this just to get you a draft. So when you're browsing these, you're looking for writing that is as close as possible to the writing that you already do. If none of them match, go with one of the open canvases, which is genre neutral. And you'll be able to change that first chapter, which we're going to do today, and really get it closer to your voice. Okay, so let's go back to your first draft. Share this tab instead. So I'm back on your first draft. I'm going to return to my dashboard. It's loading my projects. I'm going to create a project. I wish there was a way to show you guys the drop down, but okay, so we're going to try this again. Enter the project title. Bridesmaids and bourbon. Make sure I am on. Okay, I'm on the right one. All right. Sydney Marsh. I'm going to select a blueprint. When you do this drop down, you'll see they're all in order by number. I know you can't see the drop down, but there is a drop down here for select a blueprint. I'm going to go to a 20 chapter 1. That is open canvas ion. And I'm going to do 20 chapters. Your max is 20 chapters. So if I had plans to only do 15 chapters, then I would just change that number to 15. See where it says number of chapters? But we're doing 20, so I'm going to leave it as 20. So I'm going to create that project. And now I have. You'll see that I have created, in my lifetime with this tool, 42 projects. I have written 1.4 million words with it. It's not this month. That's all time. I have saved an average writing time of 959 hours. How is that calculated? Well, it's calculated based off of 1,500 words per hour drafted. We're eventually going to have a setting where you can change that. But if you were to take out your calculator and you were to divide 1,439,126 words and divide that by 1,500, you're going to get 959 hours. So I just want to put on this really fast right here. Really kind of zoom in on this for a second. How many of you, when we were doing it the carpal tunnel way, that's what I'm going to call it from now on, by the way. If you're doing the typey way, we're just going to call that the carpal tunnel way. So if you were writing the carpal tunnel way, how many words could you good draft in an hour? I estimated 1,500 because if I was dictating, I could be faster, but it would not be a good draft. I would still have to clean up the transcription. So I would still average about 3,000 words over 2 hours, which is about 1,500 words per hour. April says 1,500 to 1,700 words. I'll wait for other people to say how many words they would usually draft in about an hour of typing. And I would do that sprinting. What I would often do is do 20 minutes. Yeah, on a good day, about 1,500 words. On good days, I could get around 1,800 words. Slow days, I was lucky to get 800 words. Yeah, Alyssa's on the lower end, 580 to 1,000. Oh, gosh. What are you guys doing on the back end? Why are you? Okay. Eldon says, I have done 4,000 in an hour, but I usually poop out after. One time I did 8K in 2 hours, and this was because AI inspired me. Wow, you were typing 8,000 words in an hour? And 4,000 words in an hour, my dude. 4,000 words an hour divided by 60 minutes is a 66 words per minute. Like, my brain doesn't even usually go that fast. I mean, I guess maybe if I actually tried. Most words I did in a day was 18K back in my carpal tunnel days. Yeah, I did 18. I've done 23,000 words in a single day, but it wasn't typing, just typing. I was dictating. And that was because there was a pre-order. Yeah, I can't do it every time. Okay. So we definitely see, everyone is more of the gamut, but I think you'll all agree that about 1,500 words is right. If you are not 1,500 words, just take your total words written here, where I have the 1.4 million, and divide it by your number, and you'll get your average hours that you have saved. Me, I'm glad I got that 959 hours back. That's really cool. Number one, that wouldn't have even happened. I mean, really and truly, I have had access to this tool for about 2 months because, I helped make it. So it was in May that I was starting to go ham with it. So 42 different projects across 2 months 1.4 million words. 1.4 million words is a career for some people. 1.4 million words is a year of writing for some of the most prolific most prolific indie authors. And here I am with AI enhancements, at least getting 1.4 million words down for me to edit, manipulate, maneuver, however I want to for a reader's delight in 2 months. That is an insane multiplier. You know, all those real big gurus, business gurus, 10x yourself, 10x yourself, 10x yourself. I just did it. So I love it. I love it. And then last but not least, we have the week saved. And this one is calculated based on a 5-day work week of 40 hours. So if you were to divide 959 by 40, you would get a number of days, divide that by 5, and you would get how many work weeks. So 24 weeks. If I was doing 1,500 words per hour, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, it would take me roughly 24 weeks, almost 6 months to do 1.4 million words. You 1,000. Thanks, Eldon. 10,000 extra yourself. Yeah, take that. Take that. Okay. So give me 1 second. I'm going to make a quick little change. Okay. I had to make a quick little change to the non-production. They're gonna be fixing production. So if you see the different colors, it's because I'm in a slightly different. I'm in the testing section really fast. I have Mel and Joe messaging me and being like, wait, go to this one really fast because they're gonna fix. It's my fault, y'all. Here's what happened. After our morning live, Joe was very kind and sat with me and we worked on something. And then I was greedy. I was. Instead of like saying like, no, don't worry about the bugs. We'll fix them later. I was like, no, go ahead and fix those bugs before my live tonight. But for those of you who don't know anything about bug fixing in software, when you squash one, what often happens? You make 2 more. And we accidentally made a few more bugs, but he is going to be working on that. Don't worry about it. And I'm going to be working in baby in the test server for tonight. Yes, Foamstone. The bugs make babies. Exactly. They make baby bugs. Did I mention this is an alpha? It's an alpha, y'all. It's an alpha. But do not be afraid, okay? Alpha breaks. You can't break it because it's just going to break on its own anyway. So you should get in there. If you have a free token or you have tokens to use, you should get in there and play. Because if it breaks on you, you just email Dean at Future Fiction Academy and we reset it, or we fix it, or we salvage it, or we restart it, or whatever. So you don't have to lose your work or anything like that. The only thing that'll happen is that it'll like not go onto the loop. It'll like get stuck. And then it's kind of like a carnival ride. We just have to get in there and like push a few buttons and like push it again and you're back on track. Okay. So let's take a look at bridesmaids and bourbons. So we have all this stuff here. I'm in my project. This is my current project. You can see it's not started. I do want to mention that a lot of these live statuses and things, that is the #1 place you're going to find bugs in this alpha product. So if something says it's a pending status or something, but you know that you're already done, then don't worry about it. We will let us know in the Discord, but we're working on those. And you'll see that it's grayed out on this left-hand side that I'm just in story pitch right now. So what I'm going to do is we already did the get started. See, it says ready. I don't have to activate a project until I can do a story pitch. I can do a story pitch first. So I'm going to click Imagine It for the story pitch. And it's going to tell me what makes a good story pitch and all of this stuff. I'm not going to do the random generation. I'm not going to do the manual creation. I'm going to do the from my idea, and it will put it into it. It'll transform my story concept into a structured pitch with AI assistance. So I'm going to click on this, and for my idea, I'm going to paste in all of those notes that I have that are in your notes. So you can see I pasted everything in here, and I'm going to go ahead and click generate that story pitch. You can do this as many times as you want. And we do have the story pitches. We are going to have the story pitches designed. This is a genre neutral one, but if you're in a shortcut blueprint, if you're in a blueprint that is for a specific genre, the story pitch is designed to make sure that that genre is recommended or influences it. So here is my story pitch, Bridesmaids in Bourbon. So it kept the same title. Taylor Ramsey, the meticulous maid of honor, finds her perfectly planned weekend derailed when a rival sabotage sends her on a 60-mile detour to a charmingly dilapidated bourbon resort. Stranded and feeling like her carefully constructed life has been destroyed, she crosses paths with Bo Carter, a rugged fourth-generation distiller. Can this numbers girl detect a new path amidst the fragrance of aging oak, or will her hope for something more expire before the wedding bells chime? So we have right here, it's not a romance, it's a spirit, isn't just a romance. Self-discovery, family drama, and the intoxicating aroma of Kentucky bourbon. Our heroine, Taylor Ramsey, the intellectual force. So it has all this information here. It's got the main characters all put in there. And I can save the pitch. I could rerun it. I could, or say I want changes to it. I can rerun it with a random generate variations on it. But I'm just going to go ahead and save the pitch, because it's fine. And then it's going to tell me what to do next. My story pitch has been successfully saved. What's next? Continue building your story with a story dossier worksheet. This will help you develop your characters, plot, and world building in detail. You have to activate your project. If I activate my project, that is the moment where you spend your tokens. Now, this blueprint was 1 token, and it showed me that when I selected it. So as soon as I click on it, it did not do that. I'd have to click it right here. So we'll fix that. I activate the project. It's going to show me that I'm going to be debited 1 credit from my 10. So we make sure that you can't accidentally spend a token. So she's telling me to refresh manually. So I'm going to refresh. Oh, nope, it's still not activated. So I still need to do that. So I'm going to activate the project, and I'm going to go, yes, activate my project. And ta-da, it's there. I have it. It unlocked everything else, all the rainbow. So I'm going to go ahead and go to Story Dossier Worksheet, and I'm going to click Plan It. So now I'm in my Story Dossier Worksheet. Now we again have options. You can just go from your story pitch. You can import a worksheet. Here's the thing. Once you learn one of these things, you can actually build your own worksheets. It's got some markdown, and we have some classes on that, and we'll have more classes on it in the future on how to make your own. I can start fresh with an empty worksheet to fill out myself. I don't think I'm going to do from the story pitch. I'm going to do a blank template one. So I'm going to click on blank template, and it's loading the worksheet template, because I want you to see the empty one. So this is the empty one right here. So this is a worksheet that Mel worked on. And it is author's voice, project foundation, world building, main characters, all of these things here, plot beats, outline, and then we have the different acts. I can go one at a time in each one of these sections. If I click the magic wand, I can put in here my my notes, and then it's going to use those notes to fill in all of these prompts here. So let's take a look at those prompts really fast. Note to authors, this section is intended to set a baseline for good prose output. You may adjust anything below as needed or completely change it to your own existing writing style document. Be sure to follow snake case formatting. If you don't know what that is, over on the right-hand side, you have the MD guide, and it'll explain to you what everything is, how everything has to be. It looks like it's complicated at first, but I promise you it's really, really not. It is literally like, here. We'll do it together. When you are making the markdown in a text file, in a document file, you can even do this inside of Plot Drive and then export it as markdown. All you have to upload is a markdown file. Markdown is great because the AI understands it. So what you do is 2 hashtags is a section. That's what gets you a list of all those sections. 3 hashtags is a little section underneath that section. 4 hashtags is a section underneath that section. So if you just add more hashtags to the name of what you're doing, that's what's going to give you that organization. Okay, so let's take a look at it. So let's see that in action, shall we? So you see how there's this reader experience goal, and it has here this reader experience goal. If I want something more underneath here, maybe I want to define who my reader is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 hashtags, put a space, and I'm going to go target underscore reader. That's a snake case right there. So it's basically just underscore. It has it down here, I believe, the snake case. Snake case is just use lowercase and use an underscore in between your words. And then that's going to actually help your structure right over here. If this is hard to see, you can always change the theme colors. Let me try changing it a little bit. Oh, aqua. We're under the sea. Nope, I think I'm going to go with lo-fi. Lo-fi is my favorite. Makes it easier to see things. Okay, so I have this target reader, and I'm going to say right here, and I'm going to put target reader. No, I'm going to put reader demographics. And I'm literally just copying what I see up there for that's why we give you guys this thing. So you can just change it on the right-hand side. If it's instructions for the LLM, you just stick it in square brackets. Tupperware containers, as we call it. In one sentence, how should readers feel while reading this book? In one sentence, describe the reader who is most likely to love this story in age, gender, and other interests. Okay? So you'll see that I added that there. But, oh no, it's not here in the middle. Everyone see how it's got, reader experience goal and then overall story point of view in the middle? If I want it to, from on the left-hand side, go to the right-hand side, I just press the check mark. And now you'll see this target reader is right in there. Now, if I want this reader experience goal to be a different color, it's a 3-1 instead of a 4-1. So this is how you can actually make it different colors to help you color code and see things right here. The color coding is all going to depend on the theme that you choose. So if you're in like Halloween, you'll see that everything gets a different color. If you like to have that color, I can see right here, purple, green, blue goes under the green. If I do Bumblebee, I can see this orange, this other orange, and this blue. So the way it's going to look, it all depends on yours. I also like pastel a lot. Pastel is one of my favorites. So you can change that in the theme. You can make it dark mode too if you need that. Does everybody understand how I added things to that worksheet? That it was just let me just type it in. Let me just add to the prompt. You don't have to work in little boxes. You can literally work in documents. So you can make it as long as you want or what have you. And I think that this is pretty understandable. Like, it looks like code, but it's not code. It's markdown. So it's content that's organized in a way for the computer to understand it, but also for the human. We tried to make it as understandable for the human as well. We wanted to make it really easy for authors who work in documents to just look top down. Yes. Alden says yes, but as I found out from you and Mel, a user can confuse the AI. Oh, yes, we can. Oh, yes, we can. For example, these reader demographics. Reader demographics is probably going to get me what I want. But if I turn that into who would read this, and I put in there, who would read this book? It's possible the AI would understand that I was after reader demographics. It might just as easily fill that in with like, oh, well, everyone will really like this book. Your book is, your book idea is very broad and open and shouldn't offend anybody. It depends on what question you ask the AI. If you ask the AI who would read this book, that's a very different question than in one sentence, describe the reader who is most likely to love this story in age, gender, and other interests. Does everyone see that difference in specificity? And thank goodness we took language classes, right? We took the extra English classes. We know that there's a difference between avoid and no in terms of meaning of those words. So once I have that, I have the ability to go one section at a time. I'm going to go back to my section so you can see that there are 12 sections that we have to fill in. I can use my magic wand right here, And when I click my magic wand, it's going to fill all that in. I could put the information in here of all the notes, and I could click go, and it would just do that first one. You also can preview the prompt. So let me go ahead, and I'm going to paste all that in just so you can see what this looks like. And I'm going to preview the prompt. And look at this. This is the prompt that you have. Please read the following information. Story pitch. We have a story pitch, so that'll go right in there. We're working on developing a full worksheet for the story based on the story pitch. Please fill in the bracketed. Here's the current worksheet. And down here, it's going to have additional rules. Oh, it's going to have all of the worksheet in there. I'm trying to see where it has the information about what I put in. Yeah, it's going to know everything in that worksheet. Begin instructions. Joe, did you happen to change it so that when I put something in there, it's not going to show? Because now I'm nervous. All right, we're going to give it a shot, you guys, before we move on. So we're going to, I could go ahead and click generate enhancement, but I'm concerned it's not going to bring in the enhance. Okay, he says run it. So I'm going to click generate enhancement. So I'm just going to click that. And it's literally analyzing and enhancing my content. Let's see what happens. Okay, so my left side has what the prompt was. The middle side is never updated until you actually click the check side. So I'm going to check the check mark, and then I have this information here. I'm actually going to take out this, a higher contrast theme. Okay, I can do that. Sorry about that. How about forest? Forest look good? Absolutely, Plumstone. Sorry about that. This is why you have to validate, because you'll notice that sometimes the worksheet instructions, it actually left the note to the authors. If I don't want that in there, I just delete it on this side and I press the check mark and it's gone. So if there's anything you don't want in a worksheet, delete it on the left-hand side, press the check mark, and it'll be updated. So I took out those notes. If I like, oh man, I didn't mean to take out those notes. I need those notes. I have an undo button right here. Did it do it? Oh, I had to click it twice. So once I clicked it twice, it's right back in there. But I also can take it out again, which I'm going to. So we do have the undo buttons. If I ever like, oh my gosh, I made all these changes. It's so wrong. I did something wrong with the prompt. I can actually click this button and completely reset the entire section to the way it was to start off with. So let's go ahead and validate this. Reader experience goal. Readers should feel deeply connected to the characters' emotional journeys, entertained by the unfolding plot, and ultimately left with a sense of hope and satisfaction. Readers aged 25 to 45, primarily female, who enjoy character-driven stories with emotional depth, realistic relationships, and themes of personal growth will find this book compelling. I've got a problem with this. This is not right. Because this is sounding too women's fiction-y for me. And I want a romance. I want an insta-love romance. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to revert this back to what it was. And, okay. I'm going to magic wand it again. I'm going to paste in my information. But I'm going to put at the top here. I don't think this information went in. I don't know. Maybe it did. You know what? I'm going to go back to my project. I got trust issues. I'm going to come over here to my logs. And I can see right now exactly where I ran that Gemini Flash 2.5. This was the, we're going to get these fixed so that they're tagged correctly. I know they all say plan. They won't all say plan. So go by the timestamp. This one right here is the one that was my, that was the one I just did. And I can see it was a temperature of 1. 8,000 max tokens. The output was 3355. I can see the prompt. And that's what I figured. Joe, there's a problem. And that is it never had any of that information I stuck in it. Yep. But it's not even just story pitch, my dude. There is nowhere in here where it has the information where I copied and pasted in what all the notes and stuff that I had. The top box is now completely missing out of the magic wand. I'm wondering if you changed baby and you didn't, like the issue that you're worried about is not in baby, is in baby, not in production. So here's what I'm going to do. Because my hunch is it's not in production is the problem, or it's not in production is the problem. I think the problem is in baby. So let me go back to production. All right, we're back in production. I'm going to go ahead and change back to a high contrast. Hold tight here. I think we did forest. That was the high contrast. Yeah. So it still has my project just the same, but I'm actually going to go into my story dossier worksheet. I'm going to go to my story pitch real fast and see if my pitch is in there. My pitch is saved in there. So I do have a pitch that's saved. And then I'm going to go to story dossier worksheet. I'm going to edit my dossier worksheet. My writing thing is right here. I'm going to put back in. I'm not even going to worry about it. I'm still just testing to make changes here. I'm going to click my magic wand. I'm going to paste in my notes and I'm going to generate the enhancement. And I'm going to see if I'm going to check the log on this one and see if this prompt actually had the enhancement instructions in there. I love you, Joe, to death, but sometimes you get things backwards. So I have a feeling that the problem is in baby and not in production, but we'll see. I could be wrong. Limited third person, so it's still got a problem. Let's go back to the project. I didn't save it because I don't need to. I'm going to go to the logs. Now I should have a third one, and I do right here, and it was successful. Let's take a look at this prompt. It's the same problem. It's not even about the story pitch, Joe. It's also not doing the, okay. So 1 second here. I'm going to stop sharing for a second. We can fix this. And here's how we can fix this. These things happen, you know. We were trying to make some changes and the changes are not quite ready. So the global prompt got changed. But here's the thing. I know how to make story dossiers without your first draft. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do. And for that tool, what tool would you guys use to make a story dossier not with your first draft? Let me know in the chat for those of you who have done it. And this is something that you can do anytime. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into your first draft. I am going to go ahead and grab those instructions from the guide, and we're going to go ahead and build a story dossier from scratch inside of Plot Drive, and I'll show you how you download that, and then you bring it into your first draft. So no worries, it's just a detour. And actually, this is more customization. And you guys are right. The tool that you would use is Plot Drive. Plot Drive, by the way, is completely free. So you can do this without having to spend any money whatsoever other than your Open Router API key, because the free account does have up to 15 documents. So if you just want to get used to Plot Drive, you can do that. I'm going to say Plot Drive is so good. It's one of my favorite AI editing tools that if you start using it for free a little bit, you're going to get to where like you're addicted to it and you're just going to want one of those plans at $24 or $59. Alyssa's saying you can use Plot Drive, Typing Mind, any place with AI access, really. Yes, you can also even really use the chatbots if you really wanted to. I can show you how you do this in ChatGPT. But I'm going to use Plot Drive so I have more control. And as Eldon says, I adore Plot Drive. So do I. So do I. So here's what I'm going to do. We are going to, although Plot Drive, there's problems with the formatting, correct? We have issues with the formatting. Do we still have issues with the formatting? We're going to try it. Why not? That way things can be patched and it'll be fine. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen again. Yes, but Carlo made a button. I should go get Carlo's button. I don't have it. If somebody has the link to that and wants to give it to me on Discord, I will go get Carlo's button really fast. Okay, so what I need to do is I'm going to go into the story dossier worksheet really fast. I'm going to edit the dossier worksheet. I'm going to come to this MD guide, the markdown guide, and I'm just going to copy all of this. So it's on my my clipboard. And then I'm going to go over to Plot Drive. So I'm in Plot Drive and I'll share my screen. Okay, so I'm here in Plot Drive. I'm going to use, I'm going to first say my notes right here. And I'm going to click Save. And then the first thing I'm going to paste in here is all of the notes about bridesmaids and bourbon. So it's all inside of here. So these are just the core notes that we have. It's got all of the outline already, and then it has the quick cast reference and then the updated character roster. So those are the main core things that I need. Like that's the backbone of any story dossier. And then the next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and design my story dossier. Now there is actually a really cool function inside of Plot Drive that's called Co-Writer. It's this little button over here to the right. So right now I'm using Gemini Flash. I'm going to switch over to Gemini 2.5 Pro. 2.5 Pro, no. 2.5 Pro. There we go. So I'm using 2.5 Pro. The temperature's at 1.2. I'm using my Google key. You can also use Open Router if you want to. You can also use Plot Drive models if you have tokens there. But I'm going to go ahead and use 2.5 Pro. And if I select it there, I believe that's the model that Co-Writer is going to use. Hopefully I'm not wrong on that. We'll double check because they just made some changes. I'm going to go to the What's New toggle here and go to the change log. And you'll see here, faster buttons, clearer writing signals, smoother Co-Writer control. Button library, import the essentials. New, import default buttons, up to 30. Wiped your button setup? Want the latest Plot Drive tested writing tools? Now you can import our core library of genre flexible buttons instantly. Look for the new button at the top right of the button library to restore or install our default set with one click. Know when words are coming. Live stream indicators. Thank you, Harper. Co-Writer, fewer confusions, more clarity. Streamlined mode selector. We simplified the Ask Agent Support toggle to add helpful tooltips. Smarter session behavior. Fix the bugs. Credit logic, fixed and fair. Export like a pro, fixes for exporting docs. And so yeah, we're all good. So they did some changes. They did some great updates. So I'm going to look for the new button. What is the new button? Okay, that's the AI buttons. Library, maybe? Oh, import defaults right there. I don't know if I want to import my defaults. I'll go ahead and import the defaults. Okay, 12 default buttons added to my library. So now they have these buttons that are, oh, great. These are, yeah, pin. Oh, continue, make outline, write draft, story Bible, editing plan. These are all familiar. So all of these buttons, excuse me, all of these buttons are now default, so you don't have to build them. Connect sectors, list next steps, etc. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is use the Carlo button. So give me 1 second. Visit site. I know you guys can't see this, but that's okay. Harper, Plot Drive button. There we go. Okay, story dossier worksheet. Okay, and then the documents. Do you define the documents? The worksheet guide. Instructions. Okay, we're going to just wing it. So I have a new button that I want to make. So I'm going to go ahead and make a new button. And why does it think it's simple LLM Markdown is the button I want to make? How did that happen? Did I already have that button? I'm very confused what happened. Okay, but that's what I want to call it, so we'll go with that. How is this already in here? I'm losing my mind. Oh, this is the one that I must have made. This is not the one that Carlos made. So I'm going to change out this, and I'm going to and have your filled out worksheet. I don't have a filled out worksheet toggled on. Yeah, I'm going to change it a little bit. I'm putting all of this information in here. Yeah, so we have this information here, and I'm going to save it. So that's good. And then I'm also going to have here, I need a second. Usually I just take everything on the chin and just like, let's go. So I'm trying to use other people's work, and it always like, it throws me off a little bit when I don't know what they're going to do. Okay, Harper's saying you just need to be in a new document and have your filled out worksheet toggled on. I don't have a filled out worksheet. I just have my notes. After you fill out the worksheet, toggle it on after you're done, then work in a new document. The button will do everything else. Okay, so you're wanting me to export. I see. Okay. There's another step here. Come here, Dasha. I think I'm understanding now. Okay, so one of the steps I have to do is I would have to bring in a blank worksheet. But I'm going to actually go completely off the reservation a little bit, off the rails. I'm sorry, off the rails, off the rails, off the rails, off the rails. I'm just going to go completely off in terms of what we're going to do here. The way I usually do it. Carlos thing I'm sure works fantastic. I'm going to go, here are my notes. I'm going to use my go button. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a new document. And I'm going to call this my story dossier. Okay. And I'm going to say, read the notes above. And your job is to make a story dossier with all of the sections I need to write that story with AI, such as characters, story world, act overview, writing style, and outlines of the chapters, and outlines of the chapters. Detailed outlines of the chapters. The document you are making must be in Markdown and unique, and follow the following standards. Actually, yeah, the following standards must be in Markdown and match the following standards in formatting. Okay, and then I will put in those standards. So I'm going to use his. I'm going to say here, because he has do the word wrap in the code, place markdown content here, no empty lines. So we'll have that. And I'm going to take out that context thing. So complete reference for formatting your worksheet content. So I'm going to take out that part. And I'm going to toggle on notes because the go button has the active. So I'm saying read the notes above and it's going to follow this information. And I'm going to click go. And it should start making me the dossier down here. Oh, I need to take out the here's my old story Bible. But maybe not. It might work. Let's see what happens, shall we? And look, it is starting to make it. So it's got the story overview. 2 hashtags is a section. So it has that all of information, writing style and tone. It's got the story world, which is deciding the primary locations. It's deciding all of this information, downtown Louisville, story function. It's got the character roster. It's going to the main characters, the heroine, Taylor Ramsey. It's got plot structure, act overview. So chapters 1 through 5, chapters 6 through 16, 17 through 20, act 3 resolution. So it's doing it a 3-act structure. I'm fine with that. If you wanted a 5-act structure, you could change it to that. Now it's got the chapter 1, chapter outline, chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. Put their clutch wallets in their cousins, Shelby's oversized, and all of that. So I make sure that it's got all the way for 20, and it does. I'm going to thumbs it up. And so now I have it right here that I can literally copy and paste this. Boop. I can copy it. I'm going to just open up a text editor on my computer really fast. File new. I know you can't see this because I can't share that little bit, but I just did that. And then I'm just going to save it as a markdown file. So I'm going to save it as markdown. .md. Save. So now I have a markdown file for that. And then all I have to do, because I have a markdown file, I can come right back over to Your First Draft, share this case, share this tab instead. And if I did it right, I should be able to go back to my project and I can literally import a worksheet. So this is the advanced one. So I click on import the worksheet and I'm going to grab that Bridesmaids and Bourbons, which I apparently saved in Giraffe. I don't know why, but it says it's going to overwrite my existing content. I'm going to say that's okay. And now it's updated successfully. And look at that. It's all in there, everyone. So I know it's intimidating at first to do this, but if you can learn the simple formatting, it can do something very simple for you for a worksheet. Your worksheet doesn't have to be as complicated as we offer. It can be as simple or as complicated as you want it to be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to now go through and start changing this. So one of the ways that I like to do that is you can save it. I'm going to export this. Wait. No. We'll stay working in here. Okay, so let's double check everything and make sure that we like it. So I'm going to zoom in so you all can see the writing here, and I'll read it out. So we're going to start off with a story overview. Bridesmaids and Bourbon A hyper-organized maid of honor, sabotaged and stranded at a rustic bourbon distillery, finds an unexpected connection with its stoic owner, forcing her to choose between the life she planned and the love she never saw coming. Contemporary romance, small-town romance, forced proximity, grumpy sunshine. Adult readers of contemporary romance who enjoy spicy scenes, witty banter, and heartfelt emotional arcs. Heat level, open door, 3 explicit love scenes. First person past tense. Taylor Ramsey is the point of view character. The timeline is Thursday night to Sunday evening with an epilogue 3 months later. Themes, found family versus biological family, authenticity versus superficiality, tradition versus modernity, being seen for who you truly are, seizing your own happiness. All of those are fine to me. Writing style and tone. Introspective and character driven, with a balance. First person point of view with a balance of witty, fast-paced dialogue and descriptive, sensory-rich prose, especially concerning the bourbon making process and romantic scenes. Tone, a blend of comedic, wedding party chaos, heartfelt, developing romance, tense family conflict, sabotage plot, and spicy love scenes. The overall tone is aspirational and emotionally satisfying. I don't know about that. So I'm going to go over to writing style and tone on this left-hand side, and I'm going to start fixing that. The overall tone is not aspirational and emotionally satisfying. The overall tone is a wicked fun ride. Keeps readers turning the page and makes them laugh out loud and feel aroused from the spicy scenes. The reader must wish she was able to be in Taylor's shoes and date Beau. That's something that we did with Snowstorms and Schnapps, that it should make everybody want to date Jake. So I checked that mark up, and that went ahead and updated that information there. The writing style, I think it's fine there. We'll keep it that way. Story world, primary locations, Carter Creek Bourbon Resort. Carter Creek Bourbon Resort, a rundown yet charming 4th-generation family-owned distillery and resort located 60 miles from Louisville. Features a working farm, a traditional rick house, barrel house filled with the scent of aging bourbon, a candlelit tasting cellar, and a cozy cottage. It represents heritage, authenticity, hard work, and a sense of home for Taylor. The crucible for Taylor and Beau's relationship, a sanctuary from her superficial family life and the setting for their deep connection and eventual future. Bluegrass Estates Resort, opulent, high-end resort outside Louisville, characterized by valet park Teslas, lavish decor, and a focus on the image and wealth. It is the backdrop for the Sutton Caldwell wedding. Represents the flashy, judgmental world Taylor feels invisible in. It's the physical embodiment of her family's values and the source of the story's initial conflict. Downtown Louisville. So I want to actually change the downtown Louisville one. So I'm going to go to Story World. And I'm going to make sure that I say here, there's downtown Louisville. Features a series of bars. Please do not use real bar names. That sound plausible for the location. I don't want to use an actual bar name. Serves as a transitional space where Brianna's sabotage is enacted, moving Taylor from the familiar world of Bluegrass Estates to the unknown Carter Creek. So I'm going to check mark that. So this is what we mean by validation. We are going step by step. Do we need to remove the brackets so the information isn't overwritten if you run something? No, because it only fills in the brackets if the brackets are instructions to be filled in. So like if it's a question or a command, but if it's already information, it's actually programmed not to change those. That's why sometimes it won't change it if you don't revert back to the original worksheet thing. You can take the brackets out if you want to. I know that when it runs this, doing the chapters and stuff like that, it won't affect the prompting at all, but that's a great question, Lee. All right, so look at that. We have validated story overview, writing style, tone, story world. Now we're going to go to the character roster. So I'm going to switch down to here. Taylor, 27, maid of honor, controller for her father's company, pragmatic, organized, and numbers genius, responsible. The protagonist through whose eyes the story is told. Her journey is about finding her voice, realizing her worth, and choosing a life and love that are authentic to her, not prescribed by her family. I think that might make her a little Mary Sue-ish. So we need some flaws on Taylor. We need Taylor to be a little bit more realistic. So I'm going to hop over into character roster. And let's think about this a little bit better. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to just use ChatGPT to help me on this. So I'm going to grab this main character section here, and I'm going to hop right over to ChatGPT. I'm in ChatGPT. You can use 4.0 for this. It's not a problem. And I'm going to say, hey, I need a more rounded character profile for Taylor for this story. Here's what I have. And I'm going to paste in that little bit. So it has that information. I'm going to say, here are the story notes. And I have all that story notes information. And then I'm going to come down here to the bottom. And I'm going to say, can you please keep the same formatting of Markdown of the original? And put your response in a code block. Please make Taylor not a Mary Sue. We need depth. Oh, you can't see me. Thank you. Share this tab instead. I'm sorry. I opened up ChatGPT. I said, hey, I need a more rounded character profile for Taylor for the story. Here's what I have. And I literally pasted in what was there from the worksheet. And I say, here's the story notes. And I literally pasted in what we were pasting into that top box. Every feature that's inside of your first draft literally came from manual things that I was doing and other members of the team were doing, and then it got turned into a feature. So if you're like, man, if you can just do this, why do I even need the cascade and all of that in your first draft? You don't. We built it to make it easier, and it is a lot easier when it's working and we don't break it, which I broke it. It's my fault. I asked for bug fixes, and it is completely my fault. But everything that we have in your first draft, you can do manually. Your first draft is a productivity tool for writing with AI. It makes it faster, so you don't have to wrangle with the prompts. It allows it to run while you're doing something else. It doesn't do anything that we haven't taught you all in class after class after class. Not really. I think it was Eldon who said it's like having EAW coded in a box. And I can see that. I can see that. Can you please keep the same formatting of Markdown of the original and put your response in a code block? Please make Taylor not a Mary Sue. We need depth to her. She needs a backbone or something about her that's not just, woe is me, my family doesn't like me. She needs to show, even in the early scenes with Brianna, that she can have a, I'm going to call it a secret bitch streak. That's what we're going to call it. And that needs to be expressed. Okay, so that's going to be my prompt, and we're going to make that go. Don't worry, I will share this conversation in your notes. So I'm going to let that run, go down to the bottom. You'll see it's actually making it inside this. And it's like, oh yeah, that hidden bitch streak that can slip out when provoked. Exactly. So I'm going to copy this. And because it's in Markdown, I can literally come right back over to your first draft. I'm going to share this tab instead. And now where I have this highlighted here, I'm going to just put a space down here so that the hero, I can literally just paste that in. And look at that. Look at that. We have a double minor character. So now let's check mark this up. And now let's see what we've got. So we're going to click save too. Here we go. Pragmatic, hyper-competent, and sharp-tongued when pushed. She thrives on order and numbers because they make sense, unlike her chaotic family. Can you see the difference that makes between she just likes numbers is flat, but when you say She likes numbers because they make sense, unlike her chaotic family. Now you have some conflict. Now you have some contrasts. Now you have some things that the AI can play with. This is all about giving instructions and letting the AI have space to play as your co-writer, your junior co-writer, to be like, hey, can you like this? Do you like this? I was thinking about this. If you don't leave any room for the AI to come up with something, you're gonna get stilted stuff. It's gonna be a problem. And thank you, April, for saying 1000%. And this is that work that goes on in the front end, is author knowledge and story chops. Exactly. Rachel Heller says she's got a coping mechanism. This is how you take that character that the AI wrote. I don't even know what the original was. I think it was, we can see it over in Plot Drive. Here we go. It's not Plot Drive's fault. This is just the model's fault. The original one, don't worry, I'm going to share this tab instead. Here was the original, what it said. Pragmatic, organized, a numbers genius, responsible, feels invisible, and undervalued by her flashy family. And then it says, initially defensive, but grows to be emboldened. You can see how that's all just one note. That's like one personality streak, and the AI would hammer that home over 20 chapters to the point that you would want to throw something at it. You're going to get a better draft if your input makes your characters very round. So I'm going to hop back over to the worksheet editor and share this tab instead. So there we go. Story function. Her arc is not just about finding her own voice, but unleashing the one she's always had but kept in check. That is a different character. That's the character I want to read. She starts the story resigned to being the quiet one who gets shit done, and ends it unapologetically taking up space, both professionally and romantically. Yes, yes. Her relationship with Bo helps unlock her confidence, but it's her confrontation with Brianna and finally choosing herself that marks her true transformation. She equates visibility with vulnerability. She fears that being seen means being judged and not measuring up. Her numbers are her armor. Letting someone love her as she is and not as she performs is terrifying. And let's think about this. If she is the character who, writing a story in my world is always about the opposites, you know, she is the kind of person that gets everything done. She has been trusted to be the maid of honor, which means she is like, I handle it. And all of a sudden she gets thrust into the circumstance where her phone is not charged. She doesn't have her wallet. She has no money. She is 120 miles away from where she was supposed to be in the opposite direction. And she has no way of getting herself help. She is going to have to rely on somebody else to help her. That's a huge, drastic, you take the character from their normal day and you put them in a completely different circumstance and situation. And it's a situation where it's not silly in the sense of, we've all been there where we accidentally left our wallet or our key, like we locked our keys in our car, or we've done a boneheaded move on a night of drinking, right? Like that happens. Okay, so we have all of this. Taylor is the product of her father's second marriage, while the family has been blended for over a decade. She's never fully felt like she belonged in the Sutton socialite circus. From a young age, she gravitated towards the spreadsheets. Okay, I'm confused about this because her last name is Ramsey. So she has a different mom. I'm confused. Now, this is interesting. She's the type who will correct a florist's overcharges without blinking, but won't raise her voice in a room full of pastel bridesmaids, unless she's had exactly one neat bourbon and a reason. Her relationship with Emily is complicated, but rooted in real affection. She feels protective, but also resentful that her sacrifices are often unseen. With Brianna, she plays nice until she doesn't. Her secret bitch streak is like a well-placed spreadsheet comment that's technically polite, but lands like a slap. Financial genius. Always carries a backup phone charger and a Tide pen, has a secret addiction to true crime podcasts and bourbon review blogs, keeps her own personal spreadsheet for people I'd fire if I ruled the world. Oh, that's so funny. I like her. I love her. We need to figure out this situation, though. Emily Sutton is from the first marriage. How would their names be different if their fathers are the same? I want them to be stepsisters, and I want them to have different last names. Richard Sutton, Taylor's father. How? I think that's fine. I'm working in production. Mel, I got a message. Catherine Sutton is 50, mother of the bride, Taylor's stepmother. Okay. Her last name cannot be Sutton. I'm working in production. Yes, I'm in production. Yes. Okay, we have to figure out this family thing because that's important. I guess the easiest way to do it would be to say she's from Catherine's first marriage. Yeah, she's from Catherine's first marriage. So it's not that way. We'll just fix it that way. She doesn't fit in with the Suttons because it's not her father. It's her younger sister who's getting married of her mother's second marriage. Oh, I can't fix it there. I have to fix it over here. She's the controller for her father's company. Well, how is she the drama queen? No. I think the easiest way to do it is to just fix the last names of the minor characters. So I will do that. So she is the second marriage. Second. Okay, Richard Sutton. No, I like it the other way better. So yeah, Richard is a Ramsey. That'll work. Ramsey, Richard Ramsey, Taylor's father, stepfather of the bride. There we go. Taylor's father. Catherine, and we'll make her a Sutton Ramsey. Mother of the bride, Taylor's stepmother. So there we go. So now we're making it sense. And then over here, we're saying that Taylor is bride stepsister, younger stepsister. No, older stepsister. So her age is going to be 29. Yeah, that's okay that she idolized. It's okay for younger. Okay, so then they need to be closer in age because we made Taylor 27. So yeah, let's say that the Suttons were not so great. Yeah, we'll leave that there. We'll make it messy. It'll be fine. She's never fully felt like she's belonged in the Sutton Ramsey socialite circus. Yeah. That way it is her step. No, I did this the wrong way. I am confused myself now. She kept her mom's name when her parents were divorced to keep the peace. Perfect. So I have to make Taylor older. So yeah, she's 25, and then yeah, that makes sense. Emily Sutton. Okay, I see. what I have to fix. Okay, so stepfather of the bride, no. Stepfather of the father of the bride, not stepfather of the bride, and we'll make it Richard Sutton. And then Catherine Sutton, mother of the bride, Taylor's stepmother. Okay, and then, so she's younger. The bride is younger stepsister. Make her back to 25. She idolizes Taylor. Okay, and then we just have to make Taylor. That's what I was aiming for, and I couldn't think about how it was. So that way she doesn't ever feel like she belonged in the Sutton socialized circus. Taylor is the product of her father and mother never marrying. So she has her mother's maiden name. How about that? That works better. And while the family has been blended for over a decade, she never fully felt like she belonged in the Sutton socialized circus. So that kind of hints that she was not with her father when she was younger. So there we go. Yeah, I get it. I love that. Love that movie. But yes. Yeah, that's where I dig out paper. I think I've got it right. Taylor is the product of her father and mother never marrying. So she has her mother's maiden name. And while the family's been blended for over a decade, she never fully felt like she belonged in the Sutton socialite circus. From a young age, she gravitated towards spreadsheets and logic over sorority brunches and bridal vision boards. She's the type who correct a florist overcharges without blinking. So so that makes more sense that she's going to have this yeah. So we're saving that, we're pressing enter, and we're clicking save. All good. Okay. Sleaze catalyst, we have Richard Sutton, wealthy man. He represents the familial disapproval Taylor must overcome. His biological daughter Taylor's contributions, and that would work. You know, he wasn't there for the younger one, and yeah, I like this. Big bad cousin, life of the party cousin, carrying Taylor's wallet, leaving Taylor stranded without money. Yeah, we'll just leave all of that. I'm fine with it. Although Ethan Chandler can't have a different last name than, I mean, that's too many different last names for the brothers. So Caldwell, so we'll make Caldwell, Ethan a Caldwell. Caldwell, yes, best man. There we go. Save. All right. Dutiful but dismissed maid of honor, Taylor orchestrates her sister's wedding until rival bridesmaids sabotage her, stranded 60 miles away at a rustic distillery during a storm. Meets its grounded and protective owner, Beau. Near midnight after rehearsal dinner, Brianna maliciously directs a tipsy Taylor onto the wrong shuttle bus, claiming to others the act physically separates Taylor from the wedding, her wallet, and her phone, which has a dying battery. A day of genuine connection. Deepening chemistry, bridge, reopens, bridesmaids brunch. Taylor dismisses her connection with Beau as a cute fling to shut down Brianna's needling. Beau overhears, quietly leaves the wedding. The self-sabotage is immediately followed by a sleazy groomsman's unwanted advances, and Taylor overhearing Brianna brag about the bus sabotage, leaving Taylor feeling utterly alone, heartbroken, and enraged. Taylor confronts Brianna during the reception, exposing the sabotage. She then takes the microphone, hands her maid of honor duties to a son, Brianna, borrows the groom's truck, and drives 60 miles back to Carter Creek to fight for Beau. Taylor finds Beau in the Rick house, declares her love. Perfect. I like it. The numbers girl, established Taylor's role, her family dynamic. One bourbon, one beer. After the rehearsal dinner, pub crawl, stands hands free. Taylor and Emily put their clutch wallets in their cousin Shelby's oversized tote bag. Set up the mechanism. Chapter 3. Brianna steers a tipsy Taylor to the wrong identical looking shuttle bus. She lies to everyone, saying Taylor left in the rideshare. Taylor's phone battery's at 5%. 60-mile detour. The bus's LED sign reveals its destination. The driver refuses to stop. Yep. yeah, I think I'm going to change the outline a little bit. Chapter outline. Okay, so we're in the chapter outline on this left-hand side, so I can start adding information here that I want. So chapter 1 outline. This is the validation that you should be doing. I'm sorry to shit on you, but this is what we're going to do. We're going to go one by one. Chapter 1, Bluegrass Excess. Taylor arrives at the opulent Bluegrass Estates Resort, managing last-minute wedding details for her stepsister, Emily. She's dismissed as the numbers girl by her family. We introduce the rival bridesmaid, Brianna, who exudes polite sabotage vibes. So I'm going to also put here family interactions. What else? Feel like chaos and in media res. Yes. So that the reader feels rushed. So that's the chapter 1. After the rehearsal dinner, Brianna initiates a pub crawl. A surprise she did as the non-official maid of honor. So that would be like, I organized this. Come on, ladies. So it wasn't planned thing. So yeah, she was not ready. And they all don t-shirts that say bra. They all don t-shirts that are decorated. It's like a sorority mixer. And Taylor hates it. Hates it. But she gives in once out on the town at Emily's insistence. Dance hand free. So there we go. So we have that. Okay. So that's going to set that up. And so the setting is it should be Bluegrass Estates and downtown Louisville Club. Okay. Sabotage and wrong bus. A tipsy Taylor to the wrong identical looking shuttle bus. She lies to everyone, saying Taylor left in a ride share. Taylor's phone battery is at 5%. Yep, that works. Okay, so the key beats on the, I feel like chapter 3 and 4 is like one chapter perhaps. So, because this is not a lot of great action here. Maybe, but maybe not, because we could introduce some characters that end up being funny for later on. On the bus, only to wake up halfway through the trip, disoriented. The bus's LED sign reveals its destination. The driver refuses to stop. Storm begins as her dies, and she's frantically texting. Taylor interacts with other guests on the bus. And this is comedic. These characters will be in later chapters when she's at Carter Creek. Okay. So there we go. Then on chapter 5, she is bridesmaid t-shirt and bourbon air. I thought that was Bourbon Hair. At 2 a.m., Taylor arrives at the rundown but charming Carter Creek. Though Carter, the owner, is at the desk during the storm, the result is full. He offers the soaked and broke Tyler his personal cottage. Yes, forced proximity is established. The resort is full, or suites are under renovation. With the other people on the bus. Okay. So we have the Bourbon Resort lobby and cottage. The hero and heroine meet. The forced proximity trope is established. Missing bridesmaids. Local deputy arrives. Emily filed. Wait, what happened here? I don't know that this chapter makes sense. I feel like, how would the deputy know to go there? Like, they don't know where she is. That's way too fast. Chapter 7, Angel's Share. I'm checking the chat here. Wand patch is complete. Cool. Caterers, the band, the DJ, the wait staff. Okay, I feel like chapter 6 and 7 don't make sense. The barrel house. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to grab this. I'm just going to grab this whole outline. And I'm going to go back over to ChatGPT where it already knows the information about what's happening. So I'm going to share this tab instead. So we're back. We're still using ChatGPT 4.0. I really want to use 03 for this, but I already used 4.0 and I don't think, I can change it. Okay, so that's fine. Listen, I am working on the outline and I don't think it makes sense for the deputy to be there so quickly. I love what I have planned, chapters 1 through 4. Can you enhance and fix the pacing of chapters 5 through 20? Add in specific side character names for all chapters and really make each chapter robust for all of the information that the AI needs to write this story. Here's the outline. Please respond in a code block with the formatting preserved. So there we go. So I gave it the whole thing, and now it's going to respond in a code block, and it should just fix that whole outline because I told it what's wrong with it. So we're going to look at it. And so it's saying like it wants to, no. To a later, yeah. Yes. I'll focus on preserving the outline format. Like Loretta Hayes and Grady Miller, which will help with the pacing. Okay. Since they love chapters 1 through 4 unchanged, I may exclude them or reference them briefly, but focus mainly on chapters 5 through 20 for a refined pacing experience. That's fine. So then I can say, hey, okay, go ahead and make chapters 1 through 4, and I can just copy and paste it together. Tina Wilcox and Harold Green, and introduce Aunt Ruth and Gus Templeton in chapter 6. Okay, so there we go. It's already making something more enhanced. Missing bridesmaid. Okay. Knocks out the power. I like it. Group chat guilt trip. Wakes in Joe's flannel. Barley purring at her. Oh, there's a cat. I love that. I love that. I like that. Bridge still closed per county engineer Bill Sanford. Oh, I love that. This is what I wanted. Bridge reopens, no ride. Bill Sanford clears the bridge, but they just can't spare a car. So return to the prodigal bridesmaid. This is perfect. Old Blue. Cocktail hour on the Magnolia Terrace. I'm here for all of this. Mint Julep. Odette Dubois. Ceremony without chemistry. Wedding prop chaos. Truth revealed. Jasper's mic. Matt Lenz's Ram truck. I don't know who Cal Carter is. And then we have the epilogue. Perfect. I like this story. Let's go. So we'll copy that, come back over to this one. And basically, I just have to change out through chapter 5. So I'm going to delete that and then just paste it in. And I think I'm going to make the 3 months later, 6 months later. So we'll do 6 months later. Yes, so it's springtime. Okay, so we have chapter 6, chapter 5, chapter 4. So we are good. Bridesmaid in Bourbon Air, Frat Boy, Conan Myers, Retired Sweethearts, Bo Carter is manning the desk. Bo walks a soaked, walletless Taylor to his 2-bedroom cottage adjoining the workhouse. Aunt Ruth Carter, resort GM, lends Taylor dry flannel pajamas and a phone charger, teasing Bo about his stray bridesmaid. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Taylor's phone pings 72 frantic group chat messages plus a voicemail from Deputy Mariah Green. There should not be a deputy. Uber a canoe. I'm going to let the AI handle that and see if it can make sense of it. I'm going to trust it to make sense of that. Taylor stranded, showcases family, Brianna's shade, and Bo's steady reassurance. Sometimes, even though I know that this is going to be a tangle, I'm going to leave it be a tangle until I see the actual chapter, because I can fix the chapter. There's no details there that are like story important, and that's just so nitty gritty that I'm going to have to fix it in the thing. If I try to explain what happens now, I'm going to be too specific, and I'm going to be disappointed when it can't do exactly that, and I have to change it anyway. So this is one of those things where just experience working with AI. Once you write a bunch of books, you realize sometimes like that's a mess. I want to see how the heck you figure that out. We'll see what happens. So the angels share truth shots, overproof sparks. Okay, group chat guilt trip. Love scene 1. It is not achingly tender. That is not a thing. Fine, whatever. Hot for readers. Okay. Chapter 9, group chat guilt trip. Why are we doing group chat guilt trip here and then group chat? Not her well-being. Okay, that's good. Okay. A forced vacation. I see you. Clarissa Holt claims all SUVs are booked for influencer arrivals. Brianna sends a gif of a ticking clock. Bo offers to drive her an old blue, his dusty 1985 F-150. Aunt Ruth packs 2 overnight bags and smirks. Take the good bourbon sugar. Oh, that's cute. Kissing them at a red light. That's great. Then she's there. You brought the help. I love it. Yeah. Okay. I'm ready to go. I think that this is going to be great. Anything that is not perfect, I will fix in post. But this is enough that I'm like, yes, I don't want to keep reading and like not be surprised when it actually writes the book. So we're going to save it. We're going to go back to project. And we are going to go to the first chapter and we're going to go ahead and generate that first chapter. So here we go. I will put a B. We're going to go ahead and generate that first chapter. Generation in progress. And that's all I got to do. I go there and I write the first chapter. Once it writes the first chapter, we will go through that chapter and edit it. And then we will let it start writing the 20 chapters. And while it's writing the 20 chapters, I vote we start another project from story pitch from scratch. And we take one of those other pitches for the Sydney Marsh things that we looked at earlier and get started on that book while these 20 chapters are writing. What do you all think? And then tomorrow morning, we'll start fresh and early again at 8 a.m. or 10 a.m., not 8 a.m. Good God, 10 a.m. And I will be going chapter by chapter inside a plot drive and start editing all of those chapters. And the goal is to get to a fully edited 20 chapter romance by the end of Saturday night. And if that happens, ladies and gentlemen, we will have written and edited an entire novel in 3 days as one little person working with AI. So we will let this generate while it's going. Let's go ahead and pick the one that we want to do from the series pitches. So I'm going to come back up to the top here and share this tab instead. Don't worry, we'll get back to chapter 1. And I think we can go ahead and do that monsoons and mojitos in a 10 chapter, or we could start working on the hurricanes and Hennessy or the landslides. I kind of like the landslides and limoncello one. I think we should do the landslides and limoncello one as another 20 chapter one. What do you guys think? The votes are, we can either do monsoons and mojitos as a 10 chapter, hurricanes and Hennessy, or landslides and limoncello. So your votes are 2, 3, or 5. And I already know if Mackenzie was here, but I know she's sleeping right now, I think. If Mackenzie was here, Mackenzie would vote for number 5. So there's one vote for number 5 for Mackenzie. So yeah, that's the landslides and limoncello. Number 5, limoncello. Number 5, monsoons. Luca, the limoncello man. I know, right? You got to leave your Luca. Yeah, so we'll work on number 5. By the way, I've never been to the Amalfi Coast, so it's going to feel like a little bit of a vacay. I think number 5 wins. All right, let's go see if the first chapter is done. It is, and here we are. So we have to edit this. It wrote 2,699 words. It's about a 14-minute read time. I am very, very happy about this. So I'm going to open it in the reader just because it's a little bit bigger when you guys are reading it. I think it makes it bigger to read. And I can try zooming in one more way so that yeah, I can do a little bit more than that. Let's go this way. Oh, I don't think this is where I edit it. Hold on. Let me go to the edit. Share this tab instead. Okay. Be great if we could get this like sidebar to go away. Okay, so there we go. And I'll put that there and make sure you guys can all read it. And I will start reading out loud and we'll start making the changes. It's gorgeous. I bet it is. Okay, so it's 10 p.m., just so I know, for us working on this. The Kentucky summer heat wrapped around the Bluegrass Estates Resort like a clingy, overpriced shawl. I don't like it. But hi, Taylor Ramsey. Okay. We'll figure out the first line later. The Kentucky summer heat wrapped around the Bluegrass Estates Resort like a clingy, overpriced shawl. Outside, the floor-to-ceiling windows of the bridal suite, the manicured golf course shimmered, each blade of unnaturally green grass likely costing more per square foot than my entire monthly rent back in Chicago. Inside, chaos reigned. Silk, tulle, and desperation hung thick in the air-conditioned chill. And I, Taylor Ramsey, stood in the eye of the storm, clutching an iPad like a life raft, my knuckles white. I don't like this paragraph. It just does not make sense. Here's why it doesn't make sense to me. Okay. Yeah, costing more than my rent, drink. There's all kinds of issues there. Yeah, I agree with you. So we're going to cut that out. And we'll work that information back in. I cannot deal with this right now. My stepmother, Catherine Sutton, materialized in a whirlwind of ivory silk and stressed out pheromones, shoving a cordless phone at me as if it were radioactive. I took it without word, my thumb already scrolling through the vendor spreadsheet on my iPad. Peonies aren't in season, Catherine, I said, my voice calm despite the sudden spike in my blood pressure. We substituted garden roses weeks ago, specifically quicksand variety, invoice BB 7821. The fire story smells like bullshit and an invoice padding attempt. That's too much information right there. Yeah, we're going to take that out. Okay, we'll leave that back in. Peonies. This is the as you know Bob. Peonies aren't in season, Catherine. Yeah, there we go. So I'm just cleaning it up. And then not the quicksand varieties, because she's going to say that later. So invoice BB 7821. That smells like an invoice padding attempt. There we go. So I've just tightened up the dialogue. I took out what, like, people when they really would speak in this situation would do as little as possible. We substituted garden roses weeks ago. Invoice BB 7821. The fire story smells like an invoice padding attempt. I pressed the phone to my ear. Renata, Taylor Ramsey. Let's cut the drama. Your revised invoice for the quicksand roses is already approved and paid. Unless your truck spontaneously combusted after delivering perfect blooms to the ballroom at 10 a.m. this morning, we're done here. Listening to the sputter on the other end. Thought so. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. I ended the call and handed the phone back to Catherine, whose perfectly sculpted brows were arched somewhere near her hairline. How do you remember invoice numbers? I shrugged and practiced a practiced non-committal gesture honed over years of being the practical ghost haunting the Sutton family extravaganzas. It's my job. Okay, so this is a situation where you get one of these. it's my job to remember the details everyone else finds too tedious to bother with, or to be the human calculator who makes magic happen while remaining conveniently invisible. I like the second one. I added silently. To be the human calculator who makes the magic happen while remaining conveniently invisible. Well, thank God for you, darling. You're an angel, truly. Now, where's Emily? Rehearsal starts in 40 minutes. Patting my shoulder with a distracted affection one might show a particularly useful Roomba. My stepsister Emily burst through the suite door. A vision. Okay, I do think we need some grounding about the estate. I'm going to put it right here. I paused listening to the sputtering at the other end. And this is where I'm going to say where the heck they are. This is where I'm going to ground the setting. I'm going to bring this in, but don't worry. Woo! I guess we'll keep it in summer. Let's see here. Kentucky. The manicured golf course shimmered. No. I'm just going to go over to ChatGPT and get this fixed real fast. So I'm sharing this tab instead. I'm going to put that information here, and I'm going to say, put some asterisk there, and I'm just going to say, okay. I like the first paragraph, the first sentence, and the last sentence of the paragraph. But I need the middle to make sense. Sense. Taylor is wealthy. Ish. She wouldn't compare grass to her rent in Chicago, as Chicago is expensive. Give me 4 rewrites. Oopsies, rewrites of this paragraph. So it grounds the reader in the wedding venue. Okay, so there we go. So I put that paragraph in there, and then I'm like, I like this part, but I don't like that part, and it's going to give me 4 different versions. All right, the user wants alternative rewrites, so here we go. Oh, you can respond not in a code block for this part, for this. That way it's easier for me to read them. I know I could have copied and pasted and played and all of that, but okay, so there we go. Pull the touch too tight, making the limestone terraces blur in the distance. I like that detail. That's a good one. Beyond the bridal suite windows, emerald fairways wound past white gazebos, every trimmed hedge and fountain lit to Instagram perfection. Inside, the scent of freesia stuffed centerpieces mingled with nervous chatter and the hum of industrial AC fighting 10 satin-robed rose bridesmaids. And I, Taylor Ramsey, stood in the eye of the storm, clutching an iPad like a rife raft, my knuckles white. I don't hate that. This one is sun-baked humidity pressed against the bridal suite windows, turning the view of rolling greens, white horse fences, and the distant bourbon barrel barn into a living watercolor. Chandeliers glittered overhead, reflecting off mirrored sideboards stacked with monogrammed gift bags and rows of champagne flutes sweating in the heat. Somewhere beyond the closed double doors, a string quartet tuned up, its bright notes dueling with the shrieks of a seamstress wrestling the last-second alterations. And okay, I like that one. Bluegrass estate sprawled below like a mint julep fantasy. Gleaming stables. Inside. No, I don't like that one. Outside cicadas. I hate that name. I hate that word. Cicadas sawed through the thick summer air while sprinklers hissed around across the 18th green hole, leaving diamonds of water on grass trimmed as precisely as a hedge fund haircut. White Chiavari chairs marching into place like for rehearsal. Within the suite, the rustle of organza and the pop of a champagne cork collided with the frantic clatter of a printer spitting out last-minute seating charts. Okay, I like that fourth one too. This one has interesting details. This one I was actually able to see better. We're gonna go with this one. We're gonna go with number 2. It's a judgment call. So share this tab instead. And I'm going to paste that in. So now we are grounded into the space. Thought so. And what I'm doing here is it's a device. It's a trick. Yeah. So this is where if a character is on the phone, so she said something, when she's pausing, you basically naturally are going to go, oh, I'm looking through the character's eyes and she's looking out the window and stuff, because she freaking would while she's listening to the You know what I mean? So this is where you can kind of figure out the cadence of where, I don't want to call it an info dump because it's not. It's like, okay, I'm there in the action and now I need to know a little bit more information about where I'm at. Thought so. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. I think it should be Thursday. That's the timeline. It should be Thursday. Yes. Handed the phone back to Catherine, whose perfectly sculpted brows were arched somewhere near her hairline. And not for the first time. My job. Well, thank you, God. Thank God for you, darling. I love that Pat had a particularly useful Roomba. Okay, so now let's see the sister. Future Mrs. Caldwell tank top, her cheeks flushed with pre-wedding euphoria. Mom, Taylor, you will not believe the cake tasting. She grabbed my arm, her eyes wide. Matt tried to convince Chef Dubois to incorporate bourbon caramel into the groom's cake, like a river of it. Can you imagine the potential for drippage on his tux? I could, vividly. It involved dry cleaning bills and the distinct possibility of Matt looking like he'd been attacked by a molasses monster during his first dance. Bourbon caramel is viscous, I stated, pulling up the catering budget on my iPad. Significant risk of garment saturation. Chef Dubois should stabilize it, or Max wears a sacrificial jacket. You and your numbers. Okay, that's a little bit too much of the numbers. The one titled People I'd Fired If I Ruled the World. Secret silently added Chef Dubois. Tendency towards invoice creativity. What the heck? No. Okay. How do you remember invoice numbers? So now I've got to fix these things. Like a river of it. is viscous. And she can't have like bow. So we're going to change this. The spreadsheet that balances itself for 5 minutes. Okay, so I'm just going to grab this section and I'm going to ask it to revise this. So I'm sharing this tab instead. I'm like, great. Have another revision. Okay. Emily cannot name drop Carter Distillery here. Please tone down the spreadsheet to show the spreadsheet talk to show Taylor interacting with Emily authentically. No need for a coping mechanism. And the talk about the honeymoon, just mention the craft distilleries in the area. Since they will honeymoon there. Taylor should make a joke about if they'll leave the honeymoon suite at Bluegrass Estates. And it's sister joking. Then the mother should intervene. Right after this, the should intervene to draw Emily's attention. Oh. Something about her appearance. Okay, so there we go. That's how I want it edited. I want a rewrite. I know numbers are her happy place, but I think when she's talking to her sister, she wouldn't need that happy place. Like, I have coping mechanisms. I have ways that I talk with my parents, but I don't talk to my sister Christine that way. Mom, Taylor, you will not believe the cake testing. Give the man credit. He's aiming for dessert and dry cleaning in one convenient package. You're impossible, but it was so sweet. His face lit up. And speaking of sweet, we should hit a few of the craft distilleries nearby during the honeymoon. Matt's already bookmarked half the trail. Ambitious. First challenge will be prying you two out of the honeymoon suite. Rude. Emily, darling, your curls are collapsing. Humidity is the enemy. Okay. That's good enough for the draft until I do like a deeper dive on this. So we will go to back to the first chapter, share this tab instead. I'm going to delete that out. I'm going to put that in, and it goes right into Brianna coming in. Brianna Lowell glided in, looking effortlessly chic in her head-to-toe pale pink athleisure that probably cost more than my best suit. No, she is not poor. Her ash blonde hair was swept into a perfect messy bun, her makeup fresh despite the humidity. She carried a towering gift box wrapped in silver paper, topped with an absurdly large bow. Emily, darling, you look radiant. Just a little pre-rehearsal pick-me-up from the girls. All right. You shouldn't have nonsense. Only the best for our bride. Her gaze flickered to me. Wrinkle resistant, purchased on sale. No, it is not purchased on sale. Nope. Taking that out. Yeah, this is too on the nose. He loves spoiling his girls. Catherine, absolutely. Me, the afterthought. Speaking of dad, he's downstairs. Okay. So I'm going to come back over to ChatGPT, share this tab instead. I'm using ChatGPT because it already has the context of the story. So I'm just using the same conversation. Another rewrite, please. I want Brianna to be meaner and just to be more authentic. Make up some sorority that they were a part of, which excludes Taylor. It can't be so on the nose. The subtext was clear, trying to look invisible. That's bad writing. I need Brianna to sort of relegate Taylor. Like, she's not really a maid of honor. Brianna is. And the gift should be like, what did you get, Emily? You know, kind of thing. Yeah, just make this more authentic. There we go. That's what I got. Gamma, alpha, beta, phi, lambda. Yeah, it's because of the stress. You need to put social class and income bracket in the character description. Thank you, Lynn. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, I agree. Something in the worksheet is making it fixate on money. So I'll take a look at that before I run the chapter, just to double check, and I'll add that to Taylor's thing that she has money. She's not cheap or whatever. Yeah, competition for getting the most expensive gift on the registry. Exactly. Swept in like she owned the oxygen, head to toe, blush pink Lululemon that somehow skirted the resort's dress code. Her ash blonde bun was artfully loose, one of those accidents that takes 30 minutes and 2 mirrors, and her highlighter refused to acknowledge Kentucky humidity. Balanced on her forearms was a gift box the size of a wedding cake, silver paper gleaming under chandelier light. Emily, she sang, planting airy kisses on each of Emily's shakes. Your glow is off the charts, babe. The Beta Chai Biggs sent a little something to keep it going. Oh, that's so good. Quick, assessing. Already finished with me. Lemur minis and a silk eye mask stitched with bride and rose gold thread. There, icon status. Bree, this is gorgeous. Just a starter pack. Taylor, what did you land on for the bridal suite surprise? I couldn't find your name on the group spreadsheet. I've got something arranged for tonight. Thought I'd leave a little room in the spotlight for the rest of Beta Chi. I let the abbreviation hang, a reminder that I'd never worn their letters. Well, we can't all be CFO of the fun committee. Good thing your real mates have you covered. Oh my goodness, that's so good. Your fringe is falling. Come sit before the photographer arrives. Dad needs you downstairs. Says the sommelier is pushing a Bordeaux that's questionable for the budget. Can you rescue him? On it. Knew you could count on you, Tay. Okay, I love that. See, you can get good stuff. Little bit of edits. But I wouldn't have been able to get that if I didn't have this rough draft, to put in. So we're going to put it in. And there it was, the summons, not a request, not a could you possibly, a demand wrapped in familiar expectation. The Sutton machine ran smoothly, and yet the presence of at the actual celebratory moments always felt conditional, like I was staff who'd accidentally wandered into the family photo. Um, yeah, so Emily, like, she forgot to talk about it. Oh, I forgot. Dad needs you downstairs. Can you rescue him? On it. Um, could you possibly? Okay, so instead of for that, I have to take out the can you rescue him? So that's why it's just I forgot. Dad needs you downstairs. Because if it has the can you rescue him, that would be um that would be that would have a could you possibly. Yep. I was the emergency contact for every logistical nightmare, the silent auditor ensuring the Sutton machine ran smoothly, yet my presence at the actual celebratory moments always felt conditional, like I was staff who'd accidentally wandered into the family photo. I like that. Wouldn't want Dad choosing an 82 Mouton Rothschild by accident. Think of the optics. But Brianna merely smiled. Such a blessing you handle all that tedious stuff, Taylor. It frees Emily up to truly enjoy her special time. Come on, bride-to-be. Let's get you touched up before we head down. Shelby's already in the lobby bar attempting to flirt with the groomsmen. Disaster waiting to happen. Okay, the hallway outside was a study in restrained opulence. Okay. Mechanical bull. Rehearsal starts in 15. Points. See you ladies down there. Okay, so I'm going to just go ahead and say, like, fix all the rest of this. Okay. Great job. Fix the rest of this so it matches the kinds of changes we've been making. Like, cut the foreshadowing and tighten up the dialogue and remove any mentions of Carter Creek Distillery. All right, so there we go. It's going to revise that stuff right there. Oh, I got to share this tab instead. My bad. Don't worry, I'm going to be sharing that whole thing. Yep. You said she never felt like she belonged to the social class, and that might be derailing it. Yeah, I guess that's true. I could do that. She could just be critical of the largesse. So servers in starch jackets. I spotted Dad, Richard Sutton, by the stone fireplace, a sommelier. He saw me and shifted to his fix this face. Taylor, good. Felipe insists. Is generous. Is 195 and nearly the same rating. We need 48 bottles. Switching saves over $4,000 with no drop in quality. Mademoiselle Wemsey is correct. The Pontet Canet will hold its own against the peppercorn sauce. Sizing a calculator. Fine, order it. Now champagne. Dom or Krug? Go on. The old pinch behind my ribs flaring. Numbers girl strikes again. Ostensibly to collect my cousin Shelby. Dark wood, brass whales, the faint smell of cigars no one was allowed to light. Money's idea of rustic. Diego Santoro, the groomsman whose LinkedIn profile probably still bragged about intramural soccer. Shelby, rehearsal in 15. Tay, Diego was just reliving Nashville. There was a goat, apparently. The one keeping the wheels on this party bus? Brakes, mostly. Speaking of, Shelby, water time. Buzzkill. Looking forward to your choreography. Hydrangea towers, perfume the air. Emily laughed with Matt near the altar mock-up of the ladies to the hurricane of details orbiting her. Brianna hovered close, adjusting a curl with proprietorial flair. Mom fussed over place cards. Dad held court, probably bragging about a savvy wine switch. For one beat, I stood at the edge, invisible thread in the tapestry. Then I inhaled hydrangea-scented resolve, smoothed my dress, and stepped into the chaos. Magic doesn't run itself. I know there was tapestry, but that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Share this instead. We're going to delete that out, delete this out, and paste that in. And now my word count is, wow, we cut over 1,000 words, people, 1559. So I'm happy about that because I know Diego already on scene being creepy. Maybe he should be Domingo. If you haven't seen the SNL skit, it's hilarious. Yeah. I'm going to leave it like that because I think that I can play with this more in post. I need to have Ion be a little bit closer to the chest about this stuff. I'm okay about her not liking money. Like, I'm just going to leave that in there about her not feeling like she fit into the social class. We'll just leave it like that. We'll see what happens. But now it's got like a good example of like how many times the numbers should really be there. And it's not all the time kind of a thing. It wasn't every single character interaction. It's about the numbers. It can't be that way. It's got to be less than that. So I have all of this. I need to save it. Save changes. I will zoom out. And so now it's 8 minutes. So it's good there. And now I can go to generate draft, everyone. And it is 10:32 p.m. And we're going to go ahead and generate that draft. So I'm going to generate the first draft and click go. And it's like, are you sure? Okay, it's going to process all 20 chapters and go okay. And now it is starting to do that. So let's play while that's going. Why is it saying not started? Let's double check it. Let's open that back up. And see what's going on. I can't tell if it's running or not. 9:57. I started something at like 10:30. Joe's telling me it's probably going, but it says connected monitoring project. Yeah, this is not fully connected yet. So we're going to just let that go for a few minutes and make sure that it starts showing chapters or something like that. So if I go back to the generate draft, it should start showing me chapters here once it's actually running. We'll just refresh that. I don't think it's running, Joe, because I think this button wouldn't still be showing that I could do it, I think. But we'll wait a few more minutes and we'll come back to it if it's not fully done. So now I'm going to come over to your first draft. Oh, more importantly, my notes, right? So share this tab instead. So I'm on the YFD Lollapalooza. So we'll go ahead and come down here. July 24th, 2025. I don't think we're going to get to the limoncello today. I'm actually getting tired, so I think we're going to actually wrap up. 10:34 p.m. Finished editing chapter 1. Lost 1 hour to technical problems. So only log 1 hour of work. Because it was 9:30 that I started like trying to fix it on my own. So basically in 1 hour, I finalized the worksheet. Was it? Yeah. And I ran chapter 1 and edited that. So that's where we're at. And I need to get you guys the link to that conversation. So I'm going to share this and create the link. Coming back over to notes. Link to the ChatGPT where I worked. So it's right there. Okay, so all in all, day 1, it's 2.5 plus 1, 3.5 hours. So, and that's, I think that's a really good, amount of, where you should be spending. Some people are like, oh, my dossier is like, how long does my dossier need to be? It can be as detailed as you want or not. I'm not that hard set about the details. Like, it should be good. Like, you notice I made sure like my structure was okay. Like that events made sense in the order in which they're happening. But I don't get as bogged down in like the minute details of what has to happen in each scene so that I can edit that once I actually get the writing. Why? Because I don't want to edit it twice. I don't want to get so committed to an outline that I only want my outline to have things that I decide must happen. Okay. So the outline should be really just musts, not things that are nice to have. If the outline has the musts in there, then that makes sure that the AI will work on that, the structure, and then the AI can fill in those other details that are delightful. Did my outline have anything about the wine? No, but that was cool. Did my outline have anything about the gift, really? No. It did once I was only able to fix that when I was like, I saw it. I was like, I don't like this. Fix it so that she has a gift in her hands. Is that gift going to make or break the entire story? Nope. Not even a little bit. Now, if there was a situation where the gift given, we call this a Q factor, actually, if you follow James Scott Bell's plotting stuff. If that gift that was given by Brianna into Emily in that first chapter was going to matter later on in the story, then I would make sure those details were in my outline and then make sure that my outline had the details of where that gift was an important, like, unless the gift becomes like a MacGuffin. Yeah, unless the gift becomes something that's important. So it's a skill. It's a skill to learn what is important enough that the AI has to know into the book and what's not important enough. And the only way you learn it is by practicing your prompting, practicing with Plot Drive, practicing with your first draft, getting that first chapter and being like, oh, and this is why we have that first chapter. If you start seeing characterization that's kind of flawed, you can always go back to that worksheet and fix it before you start running the rest of the chapters. So that's why that's important. Yeah, Ross says do it, but 3.5 hours. I'm going to go ahead and share again, and let's see. Danny says, it's taken me a while to learn that, but still working on it still. Yeah, it's all about what's necessary, what's required. So let's go see if your first draft, if it is running. share this tab instead. I will open it. I will refresh. Yeah, Joseph says I'm not seeing it run. I don't think it went through. I think it did not get it. So I'm going to go to the generate draft and we'll try this one more time. So I'm going to go generate the first draft and it's going to do it. Okay. And it says it's getting started. And see, now it's saying starting manuscript generation. And now I know it took because this is grayed out and I can't do anything about it. So now it'll start populating chapter 2. And I will let this run. We'll make sure chapter 2 pops up and then we will wrap it up because I can go to bed and I can let this thing run. And I can wake up in the morning and if it didn't finish, then I'll wake up and see it and I can retry it and let it keep running while I'm getting my coffee and all that. So I will see you guys all at 10 o'clock in the morning. Says this to myself, I need to do it. Yes, you cannot get better at prompting if you do not practice. Harper says it's a balancing act, giving all the details you want while leaving the AI room to explore what you've given it. Exactly. That's a mess. I want to see how it solves that mess. And you'll notice when I prompt, especially if I'm in a chat thing, I can give it little snippets and it's still got the context of that chat of that thing because I gave it the worksheet basically. When I'm like, I don't know what I want here. I just know that this is not good and I need you to make it make sense. And if I'm doing a prompt like that and I don't know exactly what I want, that's when I'll usually ask it to give me like 2 or 3 examples. This time I asked it to give me 4. I will do that especially if it's like a small snippet and you'll see like out of those 4, there were 2 candidates I really liked. I really like number 2. I don't always read them all. I sometimes just like read until I find one that I want and then I take that. That's another skill that's another muscle it takes practice to learn or to develop. Is when you can take, okay, that's good enough. I'm not going to worry about what could have been because it's good enough and I can keep moving. Because you can just keep editing over and over and over again. All right, I'm going to go ahead and refresh this to see if it's good. Let's see here. We're going to hard refresh it and see what's going on. Chapter 2 is completed. Oh dear, did it write 5,255 words for chapter 2? No. Okay, thank goodness. So chapter 1 and then chapter 2 is 3,700 words. So there we go. And now it's just writing. So let's see. Let's take a look at, I know I wasn't sharing the tab. Lynn goes, no, must read them all. No, you don't. You do not. You do not have to read them all. When you concentrate on fleshing out the character, you'll get better responses, making the AI stay in character with its ideas. Exactly. So we're going to take a look at this. There's a certain kind of exhaustion that sinks into your bones when you've spent 6 hours managing other people's joy. It's not the physical kind, though my feet throbbed in sympathy with the string quartet's final mournful note. No, this was a soul-deep weariness, the kind that comes from constantly translating chaos into columns and rows, smoothing ruffled feathers with the efficiency of an industrial press, and smiling politely while being treated like the family Roomba. This is because of Ion. It's echoing back that chapter 1, so I would have to fix that. The rehearsal dinner had finally blessedly ended. The last fork clinked against china, the last toast, a predictably rambling ode to Matt's prowess with horses and Emily's ability to tame the wild stallion gag from Matt's uncle, had faded into the polite applause of people who desperately wanted the bar to reopen. My father had clapped me on the shoulder, a rare jarring contact, and murmured, "Numbers came in under budget, Taylor. Good girl." High praise in Suttonland. I'd managed not to flinch, offering a tight smile that felt more like a grimace. But now standing in the hushed aftermath of the paddock bar, the air thick with the scent of spilled Pinot Noir, and expensive perfume, all I craved was the blessed silence of my suite. A neat pour of the Eagle Rare I'd smuggled in my suitcase, and my noise-canceling headphones tuned to the dulcet tones of a podcast dissecting the latest unsolved murder in rural Ohio. Bliss. Okay, that's a whole lot of paragraph. I would have to make some edits there. Okay, ladies, gather round. Brianna Lowell's voice, sharp and high as a piccolo, cut through the low murmur of departing guests. She clapped her hands, the sound like gunfire in the suddenly quiet space. A flock of bridesmaids in their pastel rehearsal dinner finery. Shelby in her signature floral explosion. Lindsay looking coolly efficient, even in peach silk. Megan radiating sunshine and yellow, and the few others whose names I'd probably remember by Sunday fluttered towards her like moths to an exceptionally well-groomed flame. Emily was at the center. Rehearsal dinner check, but the night is young, sweet bridesmaids, and a certain bride-to-be deserves a proper send-off into matrimony. Oh, no. My internal alarm system, finally tuned to Brianna's brand of curated chaos, began a low, insistent hum. Brie, what are you talking about? Mom said we were just having nightcaps in the library. Nightcaps are for retirees and accountants. Her gaze skimming over me with the warmth of a glacier. I planned a little surprise. A proper Louisville pub crawl, Beta Kai style. We hit the classics, soak up the local flavor, show Emily the town one last time as a single lady. She produced a stack of folded black t-shirts within the depths of a designer tote bag. It probably cost more than my monthly car payment. Ta-da! Uniforms. Oh my God, Brie, you genius. Emblazoned across the chest in dripping glittery gold script that screamed last-minute Etsy order were the rides of Bride Squad, property of Emily Caldwell. Back off. She's not Emily Caldwell yet, but okay. We can change that to the future Mrs. Emily Caldwell. My stomach did a slow and pleasant roll. This was peak Brianna. Loud, attention-grabbing, and guaranteed to make anyone over the age of 25 feel profoundly uncomfortable. It screamed sorority mixer, an environment I'd always avoided like the plague. Yeah, so we just need to fix it. A pub crawl, but we're all dressed up. Hence the shirts. Slip it on over your dress, problem solved. Adds a touch of playful irony, don't you think? Are you sure? It's getting late and tomorrow is the big day. It's not the big day. That would not work. So I'd have to fix this timeline here. Exactly. My MOH. I'm pretty white. And you know I'm not much of a pub crawl person. Let's do tomorrow morning before the hair and makeup. Lots to do. Oh, come on, Taylor. Don't be such a buzzkill. This is for Emily. Okay, yeah. So I'm going to have to fix some of this timelining stuff. This does not work at all. To Emily, may your marriage be as perfect as this cocktail. A blur. The barrel proof. They got live music tonight, and supposedly the bartenders are ridiculously hot. Dancing. I haven't danced in forever. Dancing in public while wearing a shirt declaring my belonging to Emily Caldwell. This was escalating beyond. A few blocks down. Easy walk. Let's ditch the bus for this leg. Stretch our legs. More authentic. Fine. You're the best. Grab your stuff. Purses, phones, lip gloss. We move out. Okay, I'm a little bit Brianna sometimes when I'm like in Vegas. Toss them in, girls. Hands-free dancing. I'll be the official bag lady. Brained Matt with it. The ability to call an Uber. Taylor. Okay, so they don't have their phone. Isn't this amazing? Just one dance. Okay, I'll refresh this. So we have chapter 3 already. Yeah, Ramsey, stop lurking. Let's see those moves. Need another shot. Diego Santoro. Clearly. You should ditch the squad. We got a booth in the back, private. I'm good right here. Okay. The maid of honor. The bride needs her. Vodka soda palette. No, you're clearly not. escape. She's setting you up. This is a trap. Just pulling up outside. I saw it from the window when I was getting shots. Don't want her to worry. Just hitting her stride. Go on, sweetie. Get some sleep. We'll see you at hair and makeup tomorrow. Yeah, I have to fix all that. It's the first shuttle. My phone, my money, my ID. Wait, my bag. I left my bag inside. Okay, don't panic. Exactly like this. Thank God for small mercies. Okay, so I'd have to fix that, but that's okay. Next step, karaoke. Pay with Apple Pay linked to my phone. It would work. It had to work. Why the Uber app? I'd have to fix that. Okay. What the hell was Carter Creek? 60 miles? Where was this place? Driver, this is the wrong bus. I need to get off. Route's prepaid, lady. Carter Creek or bust. You can get off when we get there. You don't understand. I'm supposed to be going to the Bluegrass Estates. This is a mistake. Not my mistake. You got on the bus. Sit down. But sit down. Oh my gosh, this is great. 1%. I hit send. It spun and spun. The bus hit another bump. The screen flickered wildly. A tiny red exclamation point. Message failed. No money, no phone, no money, no idea. Wearing a stupid glittery t-shirt and hurtling towards a place called Carter Creek in the middle of a Kentucky thunderstorm. Okay, I'm here for this story. There's some things to fix, but it's okay. And it's on chapter 4 now because I was able to read that quickly. Okay, so let's go back to, if it's Thursday, the wedding is Saturday. This could be the parents of the groom throwing a party, and then Friday night is the rehearsal dinner. It could be a rehearsal dinner. I don't know. Yeah, I'll have to fix that in post. It's not a big deal to fix it. But yeah, I agree with you that I need to fix the timelining a little bit. But that's not a heavy fix once I have this in Plot Drive and I can just say, hey, rewrite all of this to do these changes and here's all the context. So okay, it failed on chapter 3. So sometimes this happens with Ion because Ion is it's a newer model and it's not as reliable as a provider. So all that you have to do is when you come share this tab instead, if that happens, you'll see that it should get like, oh, it's wrong. So I can just click retry and it's going to just pick up from chapter 4. This doesn't happen very often and we are working on, we'll have some stuff there. So yeah, I agree. Lynn's saying like, when is the bachelorette party? So they would have already done a bachelorette party, I think like way earlier on. And this is like another, it's like a second bachelorette party kind of a thing. So yeah, I think I'll just do like the groom's throwing a party kind of a thing. I'll fix it. Fix it in post. That's what we do. So now it's just picking right back up. But I like the meat of it. I like a lot of parts of it. I can cut a lot of it. I am one of those people, I prefer for it to overwrite and for me to cut it down. That's easier for me than putting stuff in sometimes. Bachelorette Party, the sequel. There we go. But this is fantastic. I mean, there's already 8,000 words. Chapter 4 is done. So I can refresh this. It's still running. So there is chapter 4, Not the Soothing Kind, of My Sweet. So we'll let that run. I'm going to come back over to the notes and just remind everyone, if you are not a member of the accelerator or the mastermind, you can join the boot camp and you'll get access to this tool August 15th with a lot of these things all polished, out. You're really looking at the alpha version. We are going to have the more robust beta version done by the middle of August for some of these hard cuts here. So I want to thank everyone for coming tonight. I don't really want to do like a razzmatazz song, so we'll do a cooler song, I think. And I don't know. I think I'll do the yacht rock one. I like the yacht rock one a lot. And I will see everyone at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, where we should have all 20 chapters and we can start the quick edits going through everything. Not quick edits. We're going to do the deep dive edits. I think this might actually be faster than we think it's going to go. So thank you everyone so much for coming. And I'll see you guys in the morning. Okay. So let's go ahead and find some fun stuff. So we'll have that one's that one. I think it's Right Free is the yacht. Yeah. Maybe is that the yacht rock one? I hope it's the yacht rock one. Let's see.
The muse all night, blank screen, no plot, no end in sight. Told to bleed for every page, burn out, dressed up as the writer's way. Deadlines tight like skinny jeans, dreams on pause, stuck in routines. But now I've got a secret spark, it's digital, it's fast and smart. No more myths, no more gate cafe. This pen runs smooth with a silicone brain. It's not cheating, it's a cheat code, babe. And I'm winning every chapter I play. And now it's right free, right now. AI's the sidekick we dreamed about. Used to think success was luck, a 1 in a million publishing truck. But now I've got the map and keys, genre-rich strategies on my screen. No more waiting on replies, I drop a series and watch it rise. The hustle smart, the words still sing, just powered up with a digital wing. I don't fear the blank page stare. This ain't about fast or fake. It's getting back what the myths would take. Alright, free, yeah. I pop like a queen. AI in my corner, crisp and clean. Forget the guilt, forget the grind. My stories blaze, I own my time. Plot drive, baby, set me loose. Your first draft lit the fuse. Books on fire, freedom rings. I write with power, I write with wings. Right free, right now. Let's break the mold, they'll ask us how.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for coming tonight and coming all day. And don't forget, today is a big deal. It's the first day that our fiction is available on Amazon, the 95% AI written fiction. So you can pre-order Snowstorms and Schnapps, Tumbleweeds and Tequila, or Margot Hollis's Immortal Bloom. So I will see you guys tomorrow at 10 a.m. All the links are in your notes. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.